What's up, G-Show Land, and welcome to another episode of the G-Show Podcast. I am G1, and this is the Godzilla Block Party. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you the GAMERA Rebirth Review Show. This is going to be wild. I am anticipating some words from certain people, and good God Almighty, you're going to hear my mouth indeed. That being said, let's get on and let me introduce you to the co-host, the cohorts, starting with Shinrob. How the hell are you?
Hello. I'm great. I'm fantastic, especially after today. Absolutely. I'm otherworldly right now. I'm glowing. I was going to say, never mind. It's fantastic. It's a great day.
It's better than Sunday night, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well rested.
Well rested. Also joining us, namesake indeed, Gam Z1. How the hell are you?
Oh, I am filled with afterglow with how many times I came today.
I got me choking on my natural lights. Goddamn, I'm already. And also, in this sideline, coming off the bench, we got JR. He's gonna mute himself for a bit. He's stuck at work and he has not seen the show yet, so we're going to spoil the shit out of it for him. But he's here, so if you hear him chime in, just so you know, how the hell are you, JR?
I look good, and I look hard.
Unfucking real. All right, let's get into it. It is the GAMERA Rebirth review Netflix show, Netflix anime. It came out. We have watched every episode. I'm assuming, Rob, you've seen all the episodes, right?
Absolutely.
We are on. Brother Chase seen all the episodes because that crazy head was up at midnight watching them all. Nope. I was a little funky today, so I had to stay home from work. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. What a coincidence. So I got to watch it. I got to start with the resident GAMERA lover. I mean, it's in his name. Gam Z1, it's for GAMERA Ziguro. It's just, it is what it is. So, Gams, I have to start with you and your reactions. However you want to put this, with the first episode, you want to do the whole thing, whatever it is.
All right, going by just the first episode, our introduction to this new world and new story and new characters. This was a hell of an introduction. Did anybody else get the feeling that this was just like a 3D anime version of the GAMERA 2015 fucking teaser?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
From way back when. This was... They got Gauss completely and utterly right. They leaned more into the Heisei aspect for Gauss, and I could not fucking love it enough. They kept the Heisei Gauss roars, GAMERA sounds amazing, and the pacing was great because like the first half of the first episode was dedicated to setting up our main characters, which, bringing it back to Showa GAMERA, our main characters are children. Now this may raise some fucking eyebrows because, you know, kids in fucking media are either you hate them or you love them. And I'm glad to say I fucking love these kids. Especially the main kid who's connected to GAMERA. I forget his name off the top of my head at the moment. There's Joe, there's Junichi, and
there's Dudley Do-Right.
Yeah, but neither of them, the main kid.
It's like Sojo or something. Shogo.
Shogo, yeah, him. Fucking phenomenal introduction. Did anybody else think that the turtle that they found was supposed to be a baby GAMERA?
I can't lie, right off the bat, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Turtle.
Right.
Turtle.
I was like, what is this, GAMERA the Brave all over? Ugh.
No, I was equating it more to fucking the first GAMERA movie where the kid in that movie thought that his pet turtle turned into GAMERA.
Yeah, but that was way after Gamera was already shown on screen.
That's very true. That's very true. But like, I was more thinking that it's actually being taken literal, that turtle turned into Gamera in response to all these other kaiju popping up, like the Gauss.
Yeah,
But not turned out it was just normal turtle, and Gamera's just there.
I could see that because they try to swerve you with the language they use. They're like, "Oh my god, it's like the giant, the biggest turtle we've ever seen. It's got to be a new species." So I could see, yeah, that's where I was like, "Oh, it's Gamera."
By the end of the series, we know though that wasn't Gamera.
Oh no,
Yeah, we know that wasn't actually a baby Gamera.
No, because we know.
We know.
oh
We know.
boy, we know. Oh,
Bandai, please.
Bandai, I swear to Christ, I'll find you.
so
But no, this introduction was really good, and it kept things vague. Like, I don't know if there's any connection to the Heisei origins of Gamera. I didn't, but one of the kids, Junichi, was obsessed with this magazine dedicated to the lost continent of Mu.
Yeah,
So
I didn't pick that up until like the third episode. I was when he pulls the map when Hiniki, whatever the kid's name is, when they pull the map out, and I was like, oh shit, Moo, duh, fucking stupid, Atragon, fuck.
yeah, definitely, and just the action was so good. Gamera fucking fights viscerally, and it's great. The choreography was something else. And this is just from the first episode. I also really like the length of the episodes.
Yeah,
Because, like, them being like 45 to 50 minutes long per episode gives that breathing room for the story to develop and fucking give us the things that we both need and want at the same time in a way that you just can't do with only 30 minutes. Singular point.
well, that's why Singular Point is like fucking 12, 13 episodes, and this is 6.
Indeed. But it's 6 well-made episodes.
Excuse me, sorry, frog in my throat.
Now, if I were to give any, like, actual criticisms for this first episode, and the series as a whole, really, I don't particularly like how the human characters are animated. It reminds me a lot of the Polygon trilogy, and that was one of my pet peeves with the Polygon trilogy, was despite it being a 3D animated thing, they insist on making it choppy frame rate and not having great line work and lighting to subsequent the 3D models.
Yeah, I see that.
I think most of the budget went towards the kaiju, to be completely honest.
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely.
I mean, I don't want to jump ship, and I'll wait for it to talk about it, but there's certain fights in this series where it's very, very obvious that a lot of the money went towards the kaiju over the humans.
Hell, I'll without getting into any fights, but the last episode, there's a sequence where Gamera is walking across the plains, and you see the humans there, and Gamera looks fantastic the way it's moving. It's like, 3,000 frames per second, almost like lifelike, and it's gorgeous. But I totally agree with that. That the budget went there, definitely.
Yeah, it definitely it's a shame, but I'm going to be honest. I'd rather the humans be choppy than the kaiju.
100%.
Oh yeah, definitely. I completely agree that the budget was probably well spent on the kaiju stuff.
It was probably rather small too.
Yeah, Gamera projects are usually fairly small budget.
Agreed.
So there's that.
Yeah, that's
So what
good point.
what did y'all think
Yeah,
of that
Shin.
first episode
Yeah,
of
Shin Rob.
Gauss?
What did you think of the first episode with Gauss?
I mean, instantaneously, just with like the focus on the kids and everything, it reminded me of Gamera the Brave, just without a mid-Gamera design and lack thereof a proper Gamera roar. I love that movie, but I hate that design and I hate that fucking awful goddamn vault roar so much.
It's King Kong 76. Leave him alone.
And he's a turtle.
He is a turtle.
It's fine, Rob. It's fine. I will give you a link after this podcast so you can watch Gamera the Brave whenever you want with actual Gamera roars. Somebody went out of their way to edit the whole movie.
The design is still awful.
It's beautiful.
The design is still awful.
And the design still sucks. But I love the first episode. I like that we have a good amount of time to learn our character, to meet our characters, learn who they are, how they operate as characters, because we're essentially with them the entire series. There's no massive cast going on here. We're mostly with the kids and some adults, so I appreciated that joyous, like, very what's the name of that one Stephen King movie, Stand By Me, where it's just the summer, it's just a bunch of friends, they get sucked into something bigger than them. I fucking loved it. And then Gauss. Bro, Gauss is out here, all of them, swallowing people, ripping them to shreds, eviscerating them, cutting off arms with their supersonic tonsillitis beam, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's so on brand. For this to be a first episode, it's just like instantaneously you feel comfortable. Because the minute everything starts up, you're right at home. It's like, oh, okay, there's Gauss. I hope they don't. Oh, perfect. Gamera shows up. Glory kills, just like smushing Gauss with his hands.
Beautiful.
Just, it's the perfect melding of having a cast of human characters that are actually characters with reason to be there other than they were written there, meets kaiju action. It's everything the Polygon trilogy should have been, and just knowing that this was directed by the co-director of the trilogy just makes it even better. And I loved it. I knew I was going to love it going in because immediately it's just like, okay, Gamera, it's gonna have to be fucking horrendous for me to not like it. But I don't know. It was like the perfect homecoming. I knew I'd be sucked in. I was sucked in. I sat there with my girlfriend. We watched the entire series front to back, and that's how you do a first fucking episode, man. That's how you do it. You let people know you're back, and then you show them that you're back, and boom, perfection. Loved it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I fucking love how they don't stray at all away from the gory roots of Gamera. Right. Gamera has always been a gory ass series, and this does not disappoint.
That's where I was gonna go. That's exactly where I was gonna go. Thank you, Gams. My impressions of this first episode was TV-14. Yes, for vile, vulgar language and fucking violent gore. I was shocked, in all honesty, by the amount of cursing. And mind you, I watched it dubbed. I'm going to go back and watch it subbed. I'm not thinking that there's going to be anything different. I don't think anything's lost in translation. I think we're still going to see the shits and the fucks and the fucking shitheads in it. But I was absolutely shocked that this was coming out of these children's mouth. Now, you got to remember, Gamera is for the children, right? In this entire series, Gamera is protecting the children. The whole idea of this series was protect the children. And the children are motherfucker, they're me. They're G1. They're me. And I sat there and I'm like, I don't know if I like this or love it. Because it was fucking nuts. I was just like, yeah. Because when I was in elementary school, that's how I talked. That's how everybody talked. We were just fucking potty mouths, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. You didn't say it in front of the teachers, though, because you get your ass whipped, your parents will learn, and that's it. It's over, right? And they go, where did you learn it from? And you go back to those old commercials, from you, Dad. I learned it by watching you. So that's... But you know what I'm talking about, Rob.
I do. The coffee machine under the bed and everything.
Yes.
I did it from watching you.
So, like, that off the bat had me, like, on the floor rolling, right? Because I'm like, they're kids. Because at first, you know, it doesn't start that way. It starts with these just three friends. Like, Rob, you nailed it on the head. Stand By Me. Damn, I didn't even think of that. So that's fucking perfection. And I love that comparison because I think it fits perfectly. And that's exactly what it felt like. Stand By Me, right? Right in the beginning. And then they get the money to buy the transmitter because one kid is going away and they want to stay in touch with their friends. Obviously, that's what you do, right? And then we meet the bullshit Americans. And that's where I started scratching my head like, man, they're really going in, right? Like, holy shit. And again, I'm all for fairness. And hold on, I'm all for fairness. But I was like, damn, they're really letting us have it, aren't they? I did not realize until the very fucking last episode that this series took place in the 80s.
Yeah.
Look at I didn't know.
I knew from the get-go because Junichi had a Sega Master System.
So I didn't pay attention.
In her room.
I didn't pay attention to all that, right? Like I for whatever reason, I just was like, it's a different world. Like we could just do whatever. We could play with this, right? I never paid attention to the dates. The last episode starts with 1983, or 3 weeks later, 1983, or early, and I'm like, wait, what? What the fuck? So now, seeing that and going back to the first episode, I'm like, okay, maybe in the 80s, American kids were that fucking retarded in Japan. Because I just couldn't buy it. Like, it just left a bad taste in my mouth that in today's day and age,
that they were so racist and bullying.
Right, and I was like, I can't buy that today. So
Yeah, not today.
exactly. So going back, seeing that, and then going back and put it in the context, I'm like, maybe it was like that. I don't know. In 1983, I was 4 going on 5. You know what I'm saying? So, but I digress. The episode was great, and as both of y'all put out there, Gauss. You're going to start this motherfucker off. You started with, obviously, Gauss, and I absolutely loved it. And you said it, Gams. It felt like that 2015 teaser trailer where Gauss is eating people in the streets and GAMERA comes down. And it really did feel like that. And I loved to see that. I loved the fact that Gauss it stayed true to the roots. The raw was there. The iconic Gauss cry was there. Everything, or vocalization, because honestly, he doesn't really roar and he doesn't really cry. He vocalizes. Everything was there, and it was perfect. And I was like, shit, yeah, fuck. And he's eating people. And I could not wait for these American teenagers to be eaten. I was just waiting. They're gonna get it. Somebody's getting their head sliced off by a fucking beam. I could not wait. But it was dope. It was dope. I loved how it escalated while they were in the arcade to get their money back. And then they were all on the same page. Like, what the fuck was that? It felt real to me. That's something that would be a natural reaction. What the fuck was that? And everybody goes to see. And then, you take it from there. You see the Jets shooting at Gauss. And just the way that whole scene culminated with... and what I really loved was there were 3 different sizes of Gauss. There were the tiny little guys. There were the slightly bigger guys that can gulp you in one scoop. And then there was the giant Gauss. All in that one episode.
Gauss.
Yeah, I love that. That was so fucking cool. And then GAMERA coming down, and Rob, you said it. GAMERA grabbing Gausses and just squashing them in his hands. That was peak for me. I was done after that. I said, I don't need to watch nothing else. I'm done. I got up out my chair. I did the motherfucking GAMERA dance. I smoked a cigarette. I don't even have cigarettes. I watched the Godzilla -1 trailer again, and then I went back to watching the goddamn show. I said, good God almighty, GAMERA, get big. And that's one thing I do love, like Gam pointed out. Those Showa GAMERA movies, they do not hold back on gore or violence. Godzilla kind of kept it to itself. It wasn't until later on in the 70s where they got visceral with it. Gigan, the fucking smog monster, for crying out loud, blowing up Godzilla's eye, making him all crusty. Gigan slicing them up, disintegrating people, and then Mecha Godzilla making Godzilla look like a fucking pinata. we didn't get to any of that shit. Gamera was doing that shit through its entire run in the show era. So seeing that in its animated form, thoroughly enjoyed it. And Gamera was Gamera. I honestly, my favorite character in this entire series was Gamera. It really
Absolutely.
was. It was true to the character. It was true to the roots. I love the... And again, I'm a big fanatic of keeping things simple and sane. Gamera's Raw was there, and it just worked. There might have been 1 or 2 times where I was like, the Raw wouldn't work there, but overall, the entire series, it was on point. So that's my take of episode 1, Gam. What about episode 2?
Can I just ask one thing real quick, though?
Oh, sure.
When the kids were in the arcade and the 2 little mini Gauss guys came in, did that not just awaken Jurassic Park Raptors in the Kitchen vibes for you? Because it hit me hard.
Oh, definitely. That was definitely fucking Jurassic Park Raptor vibes right there.
I didn't
Crawling through the cabinets.
Oh,
they're
shit.
scuttling around and everything. I'm like, this is intentional. This has to be intentional. This is Raptors in the Kitchen right here. It has to be.
Good Lord, that one went completely over my head. I honestly felt Stranger Thing vibes, but I think it was because they were in an arcade. You know?
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Yeah.
And I was too busy, I gotta be honest, I was too busy looking at the arcade titles. Because you said the Sega Master System, every arcade that was a legit arcade machine was a Sega system. It was Outrun, it was just Sega stuff. But then it was like Pac-Man, but it wasn't called Pac-Man. It was called like Pac-Knight or some shit. Which cracked me up.
At least in Japan in the 80s, Sega was the king of the arcade.
Yeah.
And they had Gamera, too.
So, all right. That's a good point, man. I can't believe I missed that. Now that I see it, I'm like, yeah, now I can't unsee it now that you said it. Gams, what about episode 2, though?
So episode 2, that pretty much solidified that this was going to be overall a great series for me. Because, holy shit, Jiger. No, Jiger did not have that fucking UV ray fucking beam that came out of, like, the middle of her horn. And when she fucking stung Gamera with her tail, it didn't incapacitate him and make him fucking turtle pregnant with Jiger's baby or anything like that. But it was still a hell of a fucking fight.
Oh my God, talk about crazy. That's the craziness about the fucking show series of Gamera. It was just like, hey, look at the kids, Gamera, we love you. Oh, now Gamera's pregnant. What?
No fucks given. No fucks given.
No fucks given. It's so crazy. Oh, man. But go ahead, Gams. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good. Now when it comes to the story, I do have one tiny little criticism. The American boy.
Douglas.
Brody. Yeah.
Brody Douglas. Yep.
Yeah.
His redemption arc, in my opinion, was a little too fast. Because it was complete by the time this episode ended and everybody was just friends now.
Okay, so
and I feel like after you call Japanese people rice-eating people, beat them up and steal their money, I think you might need at least 3 or 4 episodes to have a redemption.
Yeah, but
It's like I told you, Drew. It's like I told you. Joe hated his guts up until at least the 4th or 5th episode, where
No.
he tolerated him.
the second episode. The very end of the second episode. When
Right.
Dad slaps the shit out of him, and Joe goes up to him and is like, "Hey, man, next time punch him." You know,
True. True.
That's where it was like, because I think that to me was where Joe showed the 2 younger ones. I know you like him. I feel bad. I felt like they all came on board, and not that his redemption was complete in the first episode, but once he pissed his fucking pants, I was like, oh, there it is. There it is. He pissed his pants, he passed out, they had to carry him. He was just, like, it made Americans look bad in 2 ways, right? Stupid racist Americans, and then stupid good-for-nothing Americans, right? Like, that's what I felt in that first episode with Douglas. But in the second episode, I thought personally he was redeemed. But please go on. Like I'm not. That's not me pushing on you in your opinion.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. I just felt like maybe he should have, at the very least, felt a little bad beyond, hey, can I just pay you back in payments?
I actually like that.
That's what he fucking said, and it was that line. I was just like, motherfucker, it is way too early for a fucking redemption for you. You need to make it up to them like fucking tenfold, you racist shit.
You gotta buy them 3 machines, goddammit.
But then again, they're kids. And Junichi and Yugi, I keep forgetting his name. I just call him Yugi. Like, they're both off this high of the ending of the first episode that we see at the beginning of the second episode. And now all of a sudden, they have contact with this kid whose dad is like the head military dude. He's got information. There's an adventure behind it. He's playing into Junichi's wants. He's playing into Yugi's wants. What's his name? Shogo?
Shogo.
Yeah, Shogo.
He's playing into Shogo's wants. So I don't know if they outright just forgave him. I feel like they just kind of sided with him because it's like he kind of has what we want. Meanwhile, Joe's just kind of sitting there like, no, this is stupid.
This is stupid, yep.
Douglas is like, well, we could become Batman and fight kaiju. And it's like, oh, if I was an 8-year-old kid and I just saw my city get attacked by mutant fucking New York pigeons, you know.
Yeah.
And my new best friend is a giant fucking turtle. And all of a sudden, this new person in my life, his dad's part of the military and he's got information. Yeah, my dumb idiot child brain would probably be like, what are we doing? Where are we going? What's the moves? What's the plans here? What's going on? That's just how I view it, because I mean, I don't know.
No, you both bring up valid points, indeed. Did anyone else notice? Did the main Geiger that fought Gamera? Did she eat all of her siblings in order to get that big?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And they kind of explain that throughout I think in a later episode, maybe even that one, they explain the fact that they cannibalize each other, and the last one standing basically is the alpha, without saying it like that. I can't lie. I was most of the time I was like kind of scrolling through. This is y'all get my opinions on this. I was kind of scrolling through certain things at certain parts that Gamera wasn't there fighting something. But there were little things that I did pick up on, and that was one of them. Yeah, Jiger ate all, and they actually show Jiger eating other Jigers. I was like, this is great. Like, I love that. Again,
a biological explanation for it too. Like, it's
yes, it was.
I can't quote it, but it's something about their system and how devouring some of their own builds their system up, something to that extent.
Because it regenerates them. That's what it was. Yes,
there we go.
That's what it was.
It's like eating them absorbs that leftover fucking crystal energy that they feed off of or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I think that was introduced in episode 2 as well, was that crystal that's that infinite MacGuffin that's so important to the plot.
Oh, tell me about it.
The Steve Jobs rock.
The Steve Jobs rock.
Wait, we're nowhere near the Steve Jobs part yet. Come on. That's like literally the very end of the damn show. It was funny because, and I don't want to jump, but I'm going to jump when I said, stay for the end credits. I did not know that there was something after. I just meant stay for the end credits because, well, holy shit, listen to what's playing. That's all I meant, Gams. That's all I meant. And then all of a sudden, I was like, holy shit, Steve Jobs. And then there was more to it, and we'll get to that when we get to that, but, yeah.
Gonna be honest, I thought you meant an after credit scene, so I just kind of fast forwarded through the credits. I'll need to listen to that.
I'm gonna kick you so far. I'm gonna kick you so hard in the dick. I'm gonna kick you so hard in the dick. I'm gonna kick you. so hard in the dick.
What was it the Heisei Gamera thing?
No, don't. We're not saying.
We're not saying it. We're not saying nothing.
You're gonna go through the last episode.
Yep.
You're gonna go to the credits and you're gonna cry your fucking eyes out.
That's it. That's it. I cried my eyes out. I fucking cried. I sat there and I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now. That's why I put it in all caps. That's why I put it in all caps. So
that's why I'm buying the soundtrack.
Wait a
when it
minute.
officially releases.
Yeah, but listen.
Holy shit.
But Gams.
Wait a minute.
But Gams, if you do it now, we are not at episode 6 yet. So you keep that shit bottled up. Okay?
I will keep that shit bottled up.
You son of a
Wait
gun.
till we get to episode 6. Wait, because it's gonna throw you off.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That's a great point. Wait till episode 6. Wait till we get there.
No. I'm just gonna pull up the credits, right? And I'm just gonna keep it paused.
Just get to that last.
While we talk.
Okay, perfect. So we're still on episode 2. There's a couple of things I want to say, not even about episode 2, but just in general with the show.
Just got another thing to just fucking gush about. I love how they keep Gamera's motivation vague. Like, why does he protect the children? We don't fucking know. He just likes them.
I chalk it up to that's what Gamera does. That's what Gamera does. In any iteration of Gamera, that's what he does. He protects the children. I mean, he did it in the original, where he was a fucking monster, supposed Godzilla type beast, but he protected the kid. He did it in Baragon. He did it in fuck. The kid rode on his back in Gauss in the original Gauss movie.
He didn't really do it in Barugon because there wasn't really any kids in Barugon. Watch the movie again. There is no kids in Barugon.
Now you're probably 100% correct. Shut up, Games. It was a flashback. They showed a flashback. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Shut up. No, but I mean...
No, think about that. That's a good thing to think about. Barugon was not in the show.
No, he wasn't.
We're going to get to that. I got some words. I've got some fucking words. But that's episode 6. I found it funny. So me and Gang were talking while he was watching. I was 2 episodes ahead of him. The musical cues. There was some Heisei musical cues in there. You can hear notes. You can hear it, and it felt like, oh shit. I love that. But for the love of God, I swear on everything, when Gamera was fighting the kaiju, it was Pacific Rim. The music was straight Pacific
the guitar riffs whenever Gamera would show up and do cool fucking things. It was legit
super Pacific Rim.
fucking Jaeger vibes.
Yeah, you put them two together and there is really not a difference. So I swear to God, I was like, wait a minute. Could this possibly be some kind of connection if they're going that route with Pacific Rim the Black? Because I love that show. I fucking love that show.
I did too.
And I'm like, and I mentioned the Pacific Rim several times.
Yeah,
now, obviously, the Pacific Rim is the Pacific Rim. But they mentioned it. So now I'm like, the music is playing and they're mentioning it. And granted, I didn't realize it was in the 80s. So I'm all in. I'm like, oh my God, conspiracy theorist. I'm, what's his name? I'm Junichi. what's her name? That's episode 3. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's a spoiler.
That's a spoiler.
That's a spoiler.
Pidge. 4 feet and legs. But yeah, no, that's one of the things, like, I was like, whoa. The Pacific Rim vibes are strong in this series. And it was like every fucking episode. But I did love the Gamera notes too. I really did love the Heisei Gamera song, notes that was sprinkled throughout the series. I thought it was a beautiful touch, a nice nod. And again, we're talking about Jiger. Yes, Jiger stabbing Gamera. Gamera went down. I thought he was going to start to go translucent.
Yeah.
If Gamera would have went translucent, I would have lost my shit. But that wasn't the case, and that's all right. I ain't mad at that, because then that would have meant that the kids would have had to go into Gamera. I'm going to be honest with you. I really didn't like the kids up until, like, maybe episode 5. I fucking hated them. I love that they were potty mouths. I love that fucking Joe was just like, fuck you, motherfucker, let's fucking go. I'll kick your fucking ass, bitch. I was like, yeah. Wait, you're 12? I was like,
yeah.
and again, it was fucking me up because I'm thinking, in my head, I'm like,
fuck that kid in the mouth if he was my kid at 12 years old saying shit like that.
right, and that's what I'm, but again, like, then I see it's like in the 80s, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, man, I can't really be mad at him. That's like, I was saying that shit, 5 years later and shit, so whatever. But I digress. I really didn't like the cast. The kids, at least, up until, like, the 5th episode or so, and that's when I was like, all right, maybe even the 4th. The one with Giron, that's when I was like, okay, I'm on board. But
Giron was
we'll get to that too.
Episode 4, I think.
Episode 4, yeah. So that's where I got on board. But even still, I still got turned off a couple of times afterwards. But we'll get to that. But again, this one,
I didn't really like Jiger's roar.
What roar?
There wasn't one, right? There really wasn't one.
Like it literally sounded like a dude going, but with like filters over it to make it sound like it wasn't a dude doing that, but it totally was.
It was like they missed out. It was like they missed out on Frank Welker when he was in his fucking prime. He could probably still do it today when he would do all these weird ass monster roars and shit. Let's just go, right? Oh, come on.
Yeah.
But a lot of those roars were kind of off too. That's one thing I will say. I want to go back and not watch the entire movies because, honest to God, I cannot rewatch all of the Showa Gamera movies. I just can't. I can watch Baragon all day. I love that movie. I really do. It's one of my favorite kaiju movies. It's one of my favorite, and seriously, in the entire spectrum. And Gauss I can tolerate. After that, I'm kind of like, yeah, Zegra's fun, Giron's fun. I don't like Virus. I don't like Jirus. Or what was it? Monster X? Whatever it was. And then that last Gamera movie we can never talk about.
Yeah.
Gamera's Revenge? Yeah, that was a movie.
Yeah.
Gamera's Super Monster.
No. Let's never...
Never again.
Yeah, man. That was the only 80s game. Oh my god, this is a... Oh my god.
It's Gamera Super Monster, but actually good.
Yeah, this is... That's what they did. They remade... Like they remade Shin Godzilla with fucking... No, listen, Sarah, I'm not knocking it. But like they remade Shin Godzilla with Singular Point, they remade Super Monster with Rebirth. Oh my god. There it is. But all right, I digress. Real quick, we didn't talk about how Gamera just completely decimated Gauss and Jiger. And I think,
And
I think
wasn't
we need
fucking around.
Yeah, I think we need to talk about this.
Yes, he was not fucking around. He was out for blood. These motherfuckers were going to die, even if it killed him.
Right. So like with Gamera and Gauss, and I mean, this is one of those things, and I gotta be honest. Gauss is absolutely Gamera's number one nemesis, right? Because it's constant. Gauss pops up in everything. I particularly don't like Gauss. I don't care for Gauss. I just don't. But in this one, I love that Gamera grabbed Hyper Gauss by the tail, started fucking smashing him back and forth like the Hulk, or a la Godzilla in the 70s, where he would pick up a monster by the tail and just smash him into the fucking ground. I love that. I thought that was fantastic. I was like, yes. But, and Gams, I ain't want to say nothing. But Jiger? The way Gamera handled Jiger?
I mean, there was a lot of interference from the military, let's be fair.
But how did Gamera dispatch of Jiger?
Lit the bitch on fire from the inside.
Yeah.
With the fire beast arm. Holy shit.
Yes.
Brutal.
Yes. fucking
Slayer
pulled
GAMERA era.
out the fucking GAMERA 3 Revenge of Iris move without even having his arm cut off yet.
Yeah, there you go, spoiling everything. It's just, we're not even there yet. But hey, spoiler
What are
review,
you
right?
talking about? He got his arm cut off in GAMERA 3.
That's true. Okay,
And that's when he did the thing.
Well, he didn't need to get his arm cut off here. He just did.
No, it was fucking badass.
I don't know.
Mission
JR is making
3
this weird
is
motion. JR looks like he wants to butt in. Does JR want to butt in? Hang on. See what.
Oh no, he's gonna.
Oh, now he doesn't want to butt in. See, he was like motioning to butt in. Now he doesn't want to butt in. Okay, come on, get it.
I'm about in. He straight Falcon punches him like in GAMERA 3, huh?
Yeah, like in GAMERA 3.
No.
That's kind of sick.
No. But it's different.
No.
It's different.
All right.
He doesn't punch through him. He punches through his fucking mouth, lifts his bitch ass up, and says, "Suck it!" Oh, it's
Yeah,
so
fucking
good.
turns up the intensity and lights Jiger on fucking fire from the inside of his mouth.
He fisted her essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that time you got me pregnant? Suck it, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Gamera gave Jiga gonorrhea. That's what Gamera did.
Fist gonorrhea.
Fist gonorrhea.
You may feel a little burning sensation.
I
For the
mean,
rest of your life.
that was, I think, to me personally, seeing that was fucking awesome because it was a callback to Gamera 3, which is quite possibly
One of the greatest kaiju movies of all time.
quite possibly the greatest kaiju movie of all time until December 1st. And I was just like blown the fuck away by it. I was like, yo, he literally just said, you know what? Mana this bitchin' arm right now. Sure you can. And hit him with the dragon uppercut and just obliterated Jiger. I love that. What I did like though too was the kaiju died, but they didn't explode. They didn't just like blow up. So I love the fact that this, what was it, Secret? That drove me crazy. That organization, they were, taking from the bodies of the kaiju after they were defeated, after they died. And I love the fact that the bodies were still there. Jiga was just burnt to a crisp. Gauss had no head or some bullshit. Like, it was there, it was dead. I mean, same thing we see in the next episode, or not actually, the beginning of the 4th episode, but the same thing we see with Zigra, and it was just like, this is dope. I like that.
Oh yeah.
But, episode 2 was great. What about episode 3, Gams?
Oh, episode 3. Episode 3 was fucking something else, man. Zigra, I really liked Zigra's did not like the fact that Zigra was implied to not be an alien. Because that's Zigra's thing. Zigra's an intelligent alien that can speak and who had an actual plan to take over the human race, and now he's just another kaiju that wants to eat kids.
What's wrong with that?
That's every kaiju's kind of character arc in this series.
Yeah.
It's very true. It's very true.
They want to eat the coded child.
The code. Oh my god.
The code.
I got a code for you real quick.
Oh yeah.
This episode 3, least favorite episode.
Really?
Least favorite episode.
Oh shit. Okay.
The figure was mid. The episode was mid. It's my least favorite. It doesn't really have to do with the pacing because I think all the episodes are very well paced. I just didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck about seeing Zigra. The one thing I will say though, the underwater fight was fantastic.
Hell yeah, it was.
That
I was about
great.
to say, don't you talk shit about that underwater battle.
No. It was just everything leading up to it where I was just kind of like, all right, the guy who looks like the lead singer from AFI doesn't like being in closed spaces. Okay, here we go. Having our
That
little
guy.
subplot. the kids are making fun of Junichi, and it's just like, okay, this is getting a little bland soup for me. Then the underwater fight happens, and I saw a few people on the interwebs just talking like how they felt it was kind of bland that it was an underwater fight, but bro, seeing the trail of bubbles following these monsters as they're swimming through the ocean, that's so much cooler than an air fight. That is so much cool. And the one cool thing that Zigra did, manipulating the bubbles to reduce the friction of the water to move.
Genius.
Fucking
Oh,
awesome.
hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't mean to sound like minimizing here, but everything that didn't have to do with the humans was great. Everything with the humans was just kind of bland until they started running to the lighthouse. That was pretty cool.
A lot of it was just, insert character, not insert character. I don't want to disrespect him like that. Joe being fucking seasick and that other fucking guy just being claustrophobic once they got in the fucking submarine and shit. I didn't even know there was a submarine under that boat.
And nobody did. That was the MacGuffin.
It just kind of appeared.
Yeah, that was the MacGuffin.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
Patch episode. It was the rough patch episode for me.
And you know what? You know what's crazy? Because I actually, I did like this episode. I did like it. Not a lot. Like, it wasn't like the best. Like, I think I'll wait till I get to the end. But you know, this was it was one of my favorites. I like the idea that Gamera threw Zigra off with the pulse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
that was good
in
shit.
that pulse, Gamera sent a radio wave, a radio message, and Junichi was like, yo, what was that? Hey, we can use that. And of course, there's foreshadowing here that we get to later on in the episodes, later on in the series, where like the captain of the ship is like, get out of here, kid. What the fuck you talking about? You ain't, like, none of that makes sense to me. And it's like, no, listen to Junichi. Like, Junichi knows what they talking about, right? The fight underwater, again, I got to mimic Rob. That shit was dope. And what I really loved was when Zigra comes up on land, Gamera's bite is still on its shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. You go back and look at some of those sequences before that, in previous episodes, like when Jiger is throwing a tail up in Gamera, it's there for like 1 or 2 shots, and then it's not there anymore. But Zigra, the bite was still there, and I thought that was really nice. I was like, all right, cool. They're paying attention to detail. They understand what's going on. And I don't know. Maybe it's me. I like when kaiju come out of the water. I like the way things look. And with anime, you can really go batshit crazy and do whatever you want. It looked good. I thought it could have been a little bit more oof, but it was fine for what it was. It really was. It really, really was. I can't complain about it. But again, like, Gamera just toasted this motherfucker.
Literally.
Yeah, like nothing. Like here's one thing I did like about the Zigra. It had that the longer tail. That's not a thing. I don't recall that from the show or movies.
No. Zigra Zigra only had like just the one tail to make it propel through the water. It didn't extend or anything like that.
Did Gauss always have the hyper-extending tongue?
No.
So that was entirely. I like that. That was cool.
that was new.
Yeah, that was cool as shit. That was cool as shit.
Are we talking about the last episode there?
No, it was the first episode.
Right.
They had those from power.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. Where Gauss stuck his tongue out and got caught in an electrical transformer and zapped itself.
Wait a minute. Was that not in that proof of concept trailer in 2015? I could have sworn Gauss stuck his tongue out a little bit to grab a human and just bring him into its mouth.
But it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't like, yeah, right.
Long,
you know what that
like
was? You know what that was? That was an homage to Baragon. That
It had to have been. Yeah.
I'll get to that. You think my fucking King of the Monsters Rodan rant is something? You just fucking wait.
Oh, I'm waiting. I'm ready.
Oh, I'm waiting with fucking bated breath.
I forgot what it was already. I'm not gonna rant about it. But no, all right. Episode 3. Final thoughts.
Yeah. This was the episode where it was revealed to us that Junichi is actually a girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's moving through a loop a little bit there.
Rob, why are you cracking up over there, Rob? What's up with that?
Because I was talking with Drew in the DMs after I was done, and I'm trying. Oh God, I want to get it right so I don't like totally kill why I was laughing.
I did the same thing. I looked up the DMs. I went to those certain spots to comment.
So Drew is like, also they pulled a pinch from Voltron on us with Junichi. I'm not sure how I feel about that. And I was like, they really did. It took me a minute to process. My guy Brody was all, so I'm not gay? It's the first thing that came to mind.
That's exactly how I felt. But here's the funny thing too. I called Pidge right off the bat. The pissing thing in the first episode.
Dead giveaway.
But and I was just like, what is this? Is this Pidge? What the fuck are we doing? But then they did a good job to mislead you. I will say that. Was it necessary? Does it make any sense in the storytelling as a whole? If this was real life and I knew this person, it wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't matter to me. You do you. Whether you were a guy wanting to be a girl or a girl wanting to be a guy, or you're just a girl who's a tomboy. Fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But they did a real good job with, because he kept saying, guys, come on, guys, come on, guys, come on, guys. That was a lot. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But once, because I didn't get it either. I got to be honest. Girls talk. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, yeah, because Emiko's talking. Yeah, she's a girl. She talks. And, Junichi is all up in that shit. Like, oh, shit, wait. Junichi's a girl. Girls talk. Duh, dickhead, wake up. That's how it felt. That's how it felt, bro.
It took me a bit because he's like, wait, say that again? Girls talk? It's like, girls fucking talk. Open your fucking ears. And then they drop it. It's like, oh.
Yeah. And it was funny because, I had errands to do, too. So, I watched episode 1 and 2. Then I did what I had to do. And I didn't come back till, maybe 3 hours later. And then I put it back on. But so, the pitch thing was still in my head from episode 1. But at the same time, it was just I'm waiting for GAMERA now. I didn't even care anymore about the human stuff. And that's what I gotta give credit, whether I liked it or not, gotta give credit it's due. They did do the human stuff. You know what I mean? They didn't bullshit it. It was good. It was good. Again, whether I liked it or not, the fact that they did it worked. I felt like it worked. And the things that I didn't was maybe dubbing.
I feel like Kadokawa is a lot less ashamed of what they did in the past, and that's probably one of the reasons why Rebirth was so freeing. Because I love Singular Point. I enjoy the Godzilla anime Polygon trilogy and everything, but I feel like a lot of the reason why Toho are so guarded in letting Godzilla just go fucking apeshit in an anime is just because, and it's kind of well noted at this point, they're a little embarrassed by the Showa era. They don't like showing the Showa era too much love aside from a few certain movies. And that, especially after watching GAMERA Rebirth, is very much felt because, again, while I like Singular Point in the trilogy, it feels like they're trying so hard to kind of just neglect what helped make Godzilla, while Kadokawa over here is just like, we know what we did, we like what we did, we're going to do what we did, but do it better. And I feel like that's why GAMERA is kind of even though this is just one project, I feel like that's why Gamera is just kind of succeeding in that more with a lot of kaiju fans who weren't exactly impressed with the Polygon trilogy or Singular Point. They're not trying to make it this big science fiction opera like Singular Point. They're just trying to have fun with it. They're trying to represent their boy, even though it's not technically their boy, it was Daiei's boy, but let's not get super technical here. And
sometimes we need to.
yeah, this is true. But I like that. You can feel, like, even in the slow points, even with the third episode that I'm not crazy with, you can tell that Kadokawa isn't trying to shy away from Gamera's past. They're not trying to cover it up by making it something completely different or trying to, take it out of its comfort zone. They're very comfortable with it. They're not afraid to show it. And even with the third episode, like I said, it's very, very clear. And I like that. I dig that. I respect that.
I also love how they don't give a fuck about physics, because Gamera can fire his fireballs underwater just like he could fire fire underwater in the original Zigra movie.
Hey. It's Gamera the Invincible, brother. You better recognize. You all get Z1. You can do whatever you want. You know that.
I know.
You're the only son of Gamera. you know what your puppy does.
He's just that, bro. That's all it is.
No, I totally agree with you.
It's true. It's very true.
I totally agree with Rob and that what you said, where Kadokawa was just like, yeah, fuck it, balls to the walls, right? Like,
yeah, let's have fun.
And again, it goes back to what I said earlier. Like, the Showa Gamera movies is violent as fuck. The kids are in it. The kids. They're getting kidnapped by aliens, and Gamera is decapitating, or Giron is decapitating space gals. What the fuck? It's violent. Gamera's pregnant. What? Because a monster stuck its tail in its neck. What? It's crazy. And Godzilla never went that far. Godzilla never went that far, and it's nuts.
It not only honored the Showa era by being as gory as it is, but it also honors Heisei Gamera constantly. The fact that Gamera uses fireballs instead of just breathing fire. We don't really see Gamera eat fire, do we?
No, not in this. No.
Nah, not in this.
Yeah.
It's a new Gamera.
But
new Gamera.
But new Gamera pulses, and I'm like, wait a minute. Oh. Somebody get Toho on a fucking call.
Gamera's design reminds me a lot of Gamera's 3s. But like wider and bulkier.
No, I disagree with that a lot. I disagree. It does not look nothing like Gamera 3's design at all. Gamera 3's design was a lot sharper. This one is a lot angular. It's very angular. It's weird. It reminds me of almost like a retrofitted Gamera the Brave first seen old Grandpa Gamera. You know what I'm saying? Or even that 2015 proof of concept trailer Gamera. But no,
that's what it reminds me the most of.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me the most of.
G2015.
It was mostly like the 20.
Yeah,
it was mostly like G2015.
But ain't nothing like Gamera 3. Gamera 3, that is a fucking beast.
That is a turtle mixed with a razor blade.
Yes. Which drives me crazy, and we're gonna go into episode 4, which personally was my favorite fucking finale.
Oh yes,
mine too.
Oh yes.
Oh, episode 4 was so good.
It was so good. So
Giron.
Now we get Giron, right? And before I let Gam take the fucking stage, I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoyed what they did with Giron here. I love the crazy acrobatics like this motherfucker is Cirque du Soleil kaiju. I loved it. I loved it.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you got a big ass knife for a head, you should be acrobatic so you can actually use that main weapon.
It was insanity. I fucking loved it. But Gams, episode 4, where are we going?
Oh my God, episode 4. So now that we got all that fucking setup out of the way, we're now at the main base of this fucking organization that we've been setting up the past 3 episodes. They have fucking Virus underneath the facility just being mummified. And then all of a sudden, fucking Giron comes up and just eats Zigra's corpse. Holy shit. The split mouth works for Giron.
Rated, what was it? Where am I? Rated TV 14, you know. No problem. Vulgar language and fucking violent gore. No problem. Rated X Netflix. Jesus.
And then this is the episode where we start to question the organization's fucking motivation here, because they lock the kids in this room in the facility. All the while, shit's hitting the fan. Giron is here and tearing shit up, like flipping everywhere, slicing buildings like they were made out of paper mache.
Call back
So
to the
fucking
classic
good.
fucking movies.
Yes, definitely.
Can I just say,
Go ahead.
real quick, Guron is the perfect example of taking what was and just hyping up the absurdity to over 1 million.
Yes.
Guron is a knife with fucking legs and a face. That is ridiculous as a suit, as a concept overall. So in the anime, they just, again, they have fun with it. He's a rubber band. He goes everywhere. He does everything. It was like Dragon Ball. It
Yes!
was so much like fucking Dragon Ball, because
Oh,
the
it was.
man is everywhere. And that's what I love so much about, like, the episode, the drama with the humans and everything. Fantastic. I loved that.
Yeah.
And that's why it's my favorite episode, because it was just boom, 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 boom. You learn shit, you see shit. You learn shit, you see yeah.
Same.
What I said. And Guron, I think, out of all of the kaiju, save for probably Gauss, I would say was probably the best adaptation from what was to what is now. Just because
Yep.
it's a giant 4-legged kaiju with a knife for a head. That's it.
Yeah.
You're going
Yeah,
to abandon
absolutely.
all sense of realism after, like, I mean, you should have done that after the first 2 minutes of the series, but that's what I love so much about this episode. Just Guron and the creativity behind it.
It was fucking inspired to change Euron's shuriken attack from being on the sides of his head to being down his back. Where he shoots out like a fucking conveyor belt towards Gamera's fucking face. He loses an eye.
He gets shot right in the eye. Money shot.
Jesus. Wait, we're way jumping the gun. Like Rob said, this is possibly the best episode of the series right now, because of what we, excuse me, learned. We learned shit, and yet we seen shit. We seen shit later on. That's the GAMERA stuff. But the things we learned in this episode was really good. And if I'm not mistaken, Gam, you in the chat was like, of course, I opened it up and it goes back down to the end. But you called out, because it's this episode, you called out, if I'm not mistaken, the kid's name from GAMERA the Brave.
Yes, they mentioned the fact that Joe's brother's name is Toru.
Right.
Just like the kid from Gamera the Brave, Toto.
Right. I don't know how many times I might have said this, but I'm going to say it again. Y'all know what Puerto Ricans call Toto? It's pussy. Yeah, it is pussy. It's vagina. That's why that movie is fucking vagina. It's why. I mean, it's fun to watch sometimes, but it's whack.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about that Toto, to be honest with you.
But the callback was really cool.
Yeah,
No,
it
it
was.
was.
It was a fun one.
It was a, and it was sad also. It was
Yeah,
very
because
sad.
just like Toru in Gamera the Brave, his mom's fucking dead. And Toru's fucking dead.
Right.
It's just him and his drunky dad.
It's just him and his drunk dad, which I like. And that's one of the things I did like about this episode too, was the fact that there's now a beef between the two main characters. You know? I gotta be honest, in the first episode I was like, I hope, and it's just me, I was like, I hope this isn't leading to some type of relationship. Where Joe and Shogo is gonna be together. Because here's the deal. They're young still. Do that shit if they were of age. Do that shit in Godzilla Singular Point with the two male dudes. You know what I'm saying? I'm fine with that. These were children. So I was like, please don't do that. Please. Because I got nervous. I did. And that's my ignorance. But I love that this kind of, I'm not your brother. Once Shogo said that, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. This weekend is the weekend that my brother went on vacation 30 plus years ago. Okay? Never came back. He up there. When I heard that, man, that shit hit me in the chest. I said, yeah, I got to pause it. I had to go to the bathroom real quick. I got to do laundry. I had to do other things to get my mind off of that fucking line. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it hit way too close to home for me. You know, it hit way too close to home for me. And it was never that, you know, I've ever had somebody say I'm not your brother. It was just that at this point in time, literally, come Sunday, my brother's been dead for X amount of years. You know what I'm saying? Or decades at this point. So it hit, and I was like, wow. And it was a gut punch. And again, it was one of those things that while the episode itself was great, and I loved Giron, I think Giron might have been my favorite kaiju out of this series. That hit home. And that's why I agree with Rob. This is my favorite episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because it hit me on a level I didn't expect. And again, we learned shit from the characters. That was great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And fucking Gamera's fight with Giron. Gamera's fight with Giron.
That's why I told you, when you were going crazy about Fire Beastorm, I said, you think that's dope. Wait till episode 4. Because I had already seen it. And I was like, yep, there it is. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'd rather one of you two talk about it.
I'm so glad that they kept... that they held back on Gamera's main... Well, his preferred way of flying until this episode.
Right. Hey, I do have a complaint.
Do you?
I do. They're doing everything right. And then, like Michael Dougherty and these motherfuckers at Warner Brothers and Legendary, the sound effects are wrong.
Yeah, I did notice that Gamera's flying sound was not the same.
Especially in that UFO form. That's the only beef I had. It didn't have that, because that is a staple. That is a staple from the original Gamera all the way to Gamera 3. That is a staple. That sound effect, when he's in UFO form, that needs to be. And they didn't do that here. I wasn't mad. I will say real quick, though, oh my God. You know what I did love? The fucking propulsion out of the arms of Gamera when he's flying. Yeah. Oh, God, I love that. I thought that was genius.
That was good shit.
Woo!
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
But Gam Gams...
The fact that they used his fucking UFO form to slice that motherfucker in half.
Wait. But Gam Gams, before he even went into UFO form, he let the fucking ridges out the arm.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
That!
He did.
But before he even did that, and here's the crazy thing. Out one arm. Because Giron, while he was throwing the fucking shurikens out, which I fucking loved. And I loved that they were like going into the walls. Gamera's trying to save him, but he couldn't get past everything. You know what I'm saying? He was like Godzilla in Final Wars when Anguirus went by him. He couldn't stop that, right? A goal! King Caesar wins. And he gets the shuriken to the eye. But when Giron cuts his arm off, my God. I was like, Fire Beast Storm for real. Here we go. And it didn't happen. It didn't materialize. Instead, we get the UFO Gamera, but he pulls spikes out. And that's something I've never seen.
Yeah, like his shell literally like juts out when he goes into UFO form, so that his shell is like a blade.
Mm-hmm.
He did the screw attack from the Metroid series. He turned into a giant shining ball of death, and he murders a fucking kaiju, splits him in half. It's perfect.
That's exactly it. And it was beautiful.
Perfect.
It was well.
Best episode.
It was well animated. It was just perfectly done. I was just like, what? I loved it. I loved it because Jiger was like, to me, the way they not Jiger, Giron. To me, they portrayed Giron as like at that point in time the toughest fucking opponent because he couldn't stay still. He wouldn't stay still. He was jumping around. He's got the fucking knife attack and he's got shurikens. He's fucking Ryu, literally. And so Gamera said, okay, here we go. Sure you can. Yeah, you're dead.
And Giron was the closest pretty much any of the kaiju got to getting the kids and eating them.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Honestly, you say kaiju in anime, I'm gonna think of fucking Giron now because, bro, that's it. That's it. That's how it should be done.
That's indeed.
Honestly, like, fuck weight, fuck physics, fuck all of that. Give me fun. Giron, 100% fun. That episode in and of itself is a 5 out of 5, a 10 out of 10. Because it hits all the marks. And it does it, I don't know, effortlessly. In a way where it's like, yeah, I didn't dig everything episode 3 did, but it led to the best episode in the series, so I'm okay.
Yeah, you could forgive it as part of a binge.
Yeah.
And it
Absolutely.
does work because we're just talking about like the kids arc and shit. We didn't even talk about Emiko's and I can't remember the guy's name. Seaweed.
Oh, you mean Emiko's absolute fucking degradation of a character?
No, we ain't there. The Seaweed Head, where he was like, "Yo, I quit. I'm done. I'm gonna go to the moon and I'm gonna chill."
Deuces.
Yeah, like I love you, but goodbye. And the fact that everything went to shit, and they had to come back together. Oh, and let's not forget Dario. Dario, my guy Dario. Oh, my guy. Who's introduced in this episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot to do with that too. When she called them back on the radio, she was like, "Yo, I need you. I can't do this." He's like, "I quit." She was like, "So what? I can't do this." I love that. See, and that's why, yeah, I'm with Rob. This was my favorite episode. Because in terms of everything, it just worked. The first episode was fantastic, and I really did like it. But this one was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like this has everything. It gave you what'd you say? I wrote it down. You get learn shit, see shit, abso-fucking-lutely. And
this is like episode 4 is like getting a Sicilian and getting that one centerpiece right there. It's the gooey, cheesy center. That's what it is.
Wait a minute. No. If you get a Sicilian, you want the corner. You want the crust in the corner. You want that. That's what you want. You want that caramelized crust in the corner.
I'm going to devolve into a food debate.
I'm a center slice kind of guy. I like my edges, don't get me wrong, but the center slice? Bruh.
All right, I get it. There's only one center slice. There's 4 corners, but the fucking 4 corners, man, get off my goddamn corner, goddamn it. That shit is street beef, bro. That shit is street beef for real.
I knew what I was doing when I said that.
Oh, man. Oh. Listen, Gamera literally turns into UFO form. It is fucking awesome. Throws these spikes out and slices Giron in half. I thought it was fantastic.
Like, it was the classic, like, fucking, just so clean of a slice, you didn't even notice that he did anything until Giron just falls the fuck apart. It was so Japanese.
It reminded me of a Kung Lao fatality from Mortal Kombat 2. But Yeah.
With the hat.
With the hat. Like,
Yeah,
instead of coming.
definitely. That was
Yeah.
Kung Lao vibes.
It was dope. But episode 5, Gam. Like, honestly, here we go,
episode
right?
5. This is the episode that has my favorite interpretation. Giron was good. I fucking loved Giron.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. We've got to backtrack. We did not talk about a very important part of episode 4, which was the ending. Because that is integral. The ending is integral.
Oh yeah,
when the kids
finally
when the kids get in the elevator,
Emiko was a fucking bitch.
well, not only no. Well, yes, but that's more episode 5. When the kids get in the elevator and they go down to the virus chamber, and I'm gonna say virus, not virus. I'm going to say virus. They go down to the virus chamber, and Shoujo touches the crystal.
Yeah,
And all of them see the fucking
that,
vision.
That the kids were fucking sacrificed.
This is all episode 4. This is why this is the fucking episode. Because you see shit, you learn shit. Fucking Rob. This was insane. This was very important.
TV-14?
TV-14. It's TVR, essentially.
It's... So when you see this Gams, seriously, because now we know what... During episode 4, you kind of get like this organization is something else. I thought it was alien. But apparently they might be Atlantean.
It turns out it was ancient pre-civilization organization that's been around forever that sacrifices children to monsters.
They're Moo.
That ain't no,
That's
that ain't no Disney's Atlantis right there, bruh. These motherfuckers are cold.
Yep.
They sacrifice children, some specific children, to begin the purification. Like, huh?
That-
One of the 1% is this.
Yeah.
Very good. I like the use of that. Thank you, Gams.
Yeah.
It was to see that they were sacrificing children. Like, again, in the beginning, it was like, oh, we gotta save the children, and I'm like, of course they do. It's a GAMERA show. But now there's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, this guy's been getting played the entire time. He doesn't know why they gotta save the children. They gotta save the children for virus.
I'm going to say it right now. This handles the whole entirety of the GAMERA mythos, brings it all together, and does things that I think is even better than the Heisei trilogy, because you didn't get much of like the kids in the Heisei trilogy. You had Asagi, who was like 15, 16, having this connection with GAMERA, and you could call that, you know, a callback to GAMERA's relationship with the kids. But this goes far deeper into it, and it works. It works.
It works, yes, but better than the Heisei though?
Thank you.
Because the kid aspect in the Heisei series really wasn't present.
Right.
You know?
GAMERA saves a couple of kids.
I feel like they took, you know, this willy-nilly little thing from the Showa era and they gave it that Heisei coat of paint.
Yes.
Because if they did that kid aspect in the Heisei era, they probably would have gone with something like this.
They probably would have, yeah.
And it wouldn't have been the greatest
child
trilogy.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, look.
Right.
This does not compare.
With the exception of Gauss, I'm pretty much going to consider all of these being like Heisei renditions of the classic Showa monsters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it's in the 80s.
Especially virus, whatever.
Yes.
Macintosh HD.
That's where we're at right now, right? We're at this point now, right? This is episode 5.
Yeah, we are here. We're at episode 5 because episode 5 gives us the rest of that flashback or that sequence with the crystal, because you only get like the beginning of the sequence and then it ends on a cliffhanger. And then episode 5 picks up where you see the rest of it.
And it is not.
And It's not pretty. No. This organization is worshiping Virus like this fucking dark god who wants to wipe out most of humanity, save for like a little over 1 million people, I think they said?
Yeah. 5 million people, I think they said that it was to consume, leaving 0.0024 of the population, something to that extent.
Yeah, it was going to consume like billions of people, and like, huh?
Can we just admire the glow up of that real quick? Virus went from a squid alien in its own movie to now essentially being an Evangelion type thing, where it's literally the lock and key of the end of the world and most of the population as we know it. That's a fucking glow up, dude.
That is quite a bit.
This is
second to last episode. Yeah, second to
the six. Yeah. And that's fucking...
They essentially made Virus the destroyer of GAMERA.
They did, and it's crazy because it's just a fucking squid. Yes.
Yeah.
The squid from the GAMERA movie is the big dick slinging motherfucker of this series. That's the best way. It's the best way to describe it. They turned one of the lamest enemies from the Showa era into essentially, like Gam said, destroy it.
Yeah.
Essentially, yes. Like, they took, arguably, and I will say this as a GAMERA fan, taking fucking Super Monster out of it, just the original fucking series, the worst fucking monster and the worst fucking movie out of all of the Showa era GAMERA, again, Super Monster withstanding, and made him fucking badass. Made him fucking look cool, like a golden. I think they even called him like the Golden Demise, almost like fucking Ghidorah from
the golden god or something like that, or the golden deity.
Yeah,
it was golden something, and he fit the fucking bill pretty nicely.
It definitely wasn't Golden Shower.
I love how they reinterpreted the fucking splitting head that Virus had in the original to make it like that's his weapon, and it's like this big fuck you laser.
That was
his whole head this time.
Yeah, and it was kind of a callback to GAMERA 2, Advent of Legion. I like saying Legion because that's how they pronounce Legion in Japan. Legion.
Legion.
The fact that he opened up to shoot this laser, it looked like the flower, about to shoot the spore into space. And I fucking loved it.
I got those vibes too.
Yes. Get him. I wouldn't go as far as saying Destroyer. I would say a souped up Gigan. Power up booster Gigan. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's because literally that's what it was. A mummified kaiju they found. That
Ooh,
comes
you're right.
back to life.
You're right. That is definitely Final Wars Gigan vibes.
Oh yeah.
Virus
That's what I
didn't
got.
kill himself though, like Gigan did.
No, they definitely didn't. But
he was still mummified under the ground and was saved for last. So, well, yeah. We'll just believe that.
yeah, that's what I got. But I mean, at the same time, like, fuck. It's not a spore shot. I say that because of the Legion flower. But that weapon was dope, and I love that it used it as a propulsion system to launch into space after the shuttle, because it's seen that Shogo was the carrier of that, of the DNA.
Of the code.
Of the code. Thank you, yes. This motherfucker's Neo and shit. He's the fucking Matrix incarnate.
He's the plot MacGuffin.
Oh yeah. Which is crazy because he never really does anything to be the MacGuffin, right?
Yeah.
So, am I the only one who got creeped the fuck out whenever Virus would fucking extend its tentacles to try to reach for the kids?
Yeah, it was very...
Yeah, what kind of got me was the tentacles coming out of its maw, and it was like, and I was like, oh god, that's disgusting. That's
thank you.
nasty.
It's
I took that
certainly
personally.
a much more monstrous and visceral mouth than the simple beak he had in the fucking Showa Arrow.
Yeah.
I real quick. I wanna talk. Turn the tape from the kaiju to
Get
the
back to the fucking people. Emiko's a fucking bitch.
right.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, I was bought and sold up until she was like, sucker. I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
what? Her name is Emiko, by the way. It's the very first kaiju queen's name. Just gonna throw that out there. Her name was
That's
Emiko. And I was like, that's not a coincidence, right? I hope not. But it hurt. It hurt. Not only did that hurt, but then when I saw like the fucking crew of the ship that I had in my head watching episode 3, I was like, oh yeah, this is like the Hanna-Barbera crew. That's what I interpret them as. I'm like, they're
It
all
turns out they're all fucking evil.
They're
And
all
it
fucking
broke my
evil.
heart When I heard Junichi say, I thought we were friends.
ooh.
And then she offered Junichi, and only Junichi, a chance to live by going to the moon with them.
The moon was a very important part of this plot that never really got resolved. You know, like we seen, what were they called? What was that group called? Oh my god,
I just called them the old farts on the moon.
that's what it really is, though. That's not even a bad thing. The old farts on the moon, right? That was a fortress. Like they were in like one little window, but that shit went down into the core of the moon. We didn't get much out of that, right? Like there's still so much story to be told. We don't know. And again, like I said in Jump, I didn't realize that this is a period piece. My God. This took place in the 80s.
Apparently, there's a base on the moon with breathable atmosphere oxygen in the facility in the 80s.
In the 80s.
Is this a callback to the Zigra movie where there was a base on the moon and it got blown up by Zigra's ship?
Oh, shit. That's
Very true.
a good point. Space Secret. Listen. Oh, wait. When Giron cuts Zigra's head off, I just got Space Scouts vibes.
Space Gauss 5.
I totally
Definitely.
did.
I
I was
mean,
like,
Zebra
wow.
in this show is essentially just Space Gauss because
Right.
it's just a wider Gauss that's silver. So
And
Yeah,
the
it's very true.
It's very true. The legs were Gauss legs. The feet were Gauss feet. Like it was insane. I was like, oh shit, it's a Gauss. I'm not gonna say that because I really did dig this design of Zigra. I did. I like that wide.
manta ray
Right.
kind of.
And then you
Instead
said
of a shark, he's a ray.
right. And Rob, you said that you didn't like the toy design.
No, the toy design, not. I mean, it's literally just a piece of thin vinyl on top of another piece of thin vinyl. I mean, I love me my vinyl monsters. I have since I was a big boy. To the time I die, I will always love vinyl monsters. This wasn't one of the good ones.
Damn, because the design is pretty fucking awesome.
Maybe the Zigra design would translate better to an SH Monster Arts figure, kind of like how Gamera's did. Because comparing the Monster Arts to the Bandai vinyl Gamera, it's like night and day.
Night and fucking day. It's so good, I want one.
Shit.
I don't like SH Monster Arts.
Well, Virus is over here now, propelling itself into space.
Chasing them fucking kids.
After it laid the smackdown on Gamera.
Heavy.
Oh yeah. And this was all the while the kids, those little fucking geniuses taking the dude's fucking tie pin and stabbing a dude in the fucking leg and running.
And when we realized,
hard.
that, I mean, you kind of seen it coming, but they do a good job of making you think, is this dude for real? Is he on the good side? Because Emiko is already bad. We know that. Like, we can't do both of them bad, right? Like, that's just ridiculous. There's got to be a yin and a yang. And the fact that when she was like, get them, and he goes, okay, and he's like, get to the elevator. like I was like, yeah, get him, get him, get him. And then Dario comes out, and I'm like, Dario. I know.
Yeah.
I have
Dario, though, he got fucked.
Listen, I got a coworker named Dario, and he's a good fucking dude. So I was like, oh, this guy's name's Dario. I'm rooting for him. He's my guy, Dario. And then of course, the Zegra fucking laser. Oh my god.
Yeah, the fucking Virus's laser just
Virus,
fucking it grazes the ship a little bit, but that was enough for it to blow up in Dario's face and fucking kill him.
So, all right, real quick, I need to ask a question to the both of you, and I'm going to start with you, Rob, if you know this or not, because I might not have been paying attention at this time. I might have been back and forth with Gam in the DMs or just checking other things. What was the point of Dario and I don't know the fucking guy's name, Seaweed Head, going to the moon? Like, why did they need to get there? Not to escape, obviously. They could have done that any other way, but what was the point?
I think it was just to get away from Virus, because Virus was waking up. It was going to start its 5 million fucking people diet, and basically anybody left on Earth at that point was pretty much just left to be chowder for Big Squid. I'm pretty sure that's what the reasoning is. They were getting the fuck out of Dodge because had they stayed, GAMERA was incapacitated or whatever. So I think they got into the rocket just to get away from Big Squid.
Okay. Gam.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. I feel like it even more. It was to get Shogo away from Virus specifically, because Shogo. Well, I mean, once all this shit would fucking hit the fan and Emiko was revealed to be a fucking evil, callous bitch, dude just fucking put 2 and 2 together and was like, nah, I don't want the fucking world to end like that. I'm gonna get this kid away from this squid motherfucker so that we don't all die.
Yeah, because he was on this. He was on this shit like he wanted to go to the moon regardless. Like he's like, yo, just give me the moon. I want the moon, So I gotta be honest, I wasn't really paying attention in between these episodes. I was watching the kaiju stuff and everything else. Like the kids are kidnapped, they captured, they're not obviously not gonna be eaten by fucking virus. But viruses.
Anything to say about it?
Yeah, exactly. So Virus kicks Gamera's ass. Virus starts to fucking go into space, doing a cool shit where it basically inverts itself and then opens its fucking pod. I'm going to use the word pod because god damn, it's a fucking callback to Legion, and shoots itself and propels itself into space. And then
I think they explain it's literally manipulating gravity.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. And I love that because you could also see its tentacles doing it. And I love that. I love the fact that was happening. And I've only seen that movie maybe twice. Once when I was a kid and once when I got not the collection, but I think earlier collection. Anyhow, I digress. I've only seen that movie twice.
Yeah.
I don't know if Virus ever did that. And if he did, that's awesome. No? Okay.
Not like that. It did fly.
Yeah, he did fly, but not like that.
Yeah, he kind of pulled a Legend of Zelda, did the hold the bee down spin move, and then just kind of took off like one of those Dragonfly Force figures where you pull the string and they fly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what he did. Here, it's like he just went full robots in disguise and just and flew, pulled a jet fire.
You can't do that shit to me. You can't do that shit to me, Rob.
Wild.
You can't look at my door. Those are robots in disguise. You can't do that shit to me, bro. Oh my god. I digress.
This is happening while Emiko's just throwing a bitch fit that Gamera's interfering. He's been interfering this entire time. Why are you mad about it now?
Because now it really matters.
Yes, because Virus is the end
now
all.
it's dire, because she's got no way out. Virus is awake. like, you pretty much, at that point, the way that they built Big Squid up, you pretty much just have to resign yourself to, oh, I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
This is it. So, I can kind of understand where she's coming from having a bitch fit, because everything's blown up in her face right now.
Yeah, it's either gung-ho or go. It's one
After
of the,
she got scolded by her auntie.
which was crazy. Like, and that's where I was like, wait. This conspiracy theory thing, right? Oh, shit. Like, what's going on here? The people controlling Seaweed Head, I wish I really knew his real fucking name, but Seaweed Head, plotting and planning and doing all this bullshit. Emiko is a part of this the entire fucking time. Emiko is the niece of the one lady that's up on the moon who has lived, what, thousands of years?
Apparently, yeah.
And you gotta peep, like, I peeped it early on. When they first came into the fucking picture, right? They never stopped cracking a smile. They always had a smile on their face. When they talked, they were like, oh, and it was weird. I was like, what the hell's going on? And again, I didn't realize this was 1983. But still, I was like, why are they constantly smiling? These are fucking aliens. And GAMERA, the show series, especially, no strangers to aliens.
Not at all.
Oh, no, not at all.
You know, so I was like, what the fuck? And then the whole children thing. And I'm like, yeah. They're aliens that had kidnapped children. I've seen it. I own the fucking movies. So that's where I was at. And then it turns out to be Atlantis or Mu, whatever. The fact that they're descendants of, not even descendants, they are early man. You know, and that was like, I was like, oh, okay. But Emiko. I really wanted her to see the future.
Yeah.
I really did. I wanted her to usurp her aunt. And I will say this. And it's the last episode. No, I'm lying. It is this episode. It's episode 5. Episode 5. At the end of episode 5, where she gets on the horn with her aunt, right? Who's on the moon. Now we know that.
And she's saying she's going to enjoy a slow, painful death.
The delivery in those lines were on point. My favorite of the entire series. I sat there, I said, oh, shit.
The way she shut her down by just saying, shut up.
Exactly. That's it. I said, damn, did the dub get it right? This is the first time since Cowboy Bebop where I felt the dub got it right. I was like, oh my God. But this is the only time in this entire fucking show that I felt the dub got it right. That was perfection. That was perfection. I said, God damn. I had chills. I said, Emiko, get her. Fuck that bitch. Get everybody. Auntie, fuck them. Get everybody. It was great. That was perfect. But I also had these weird vibes too. They had like 3-4 screens up. And Emiko popped up on all 4, 3, whatever it was. And I got these King of the Monsters vibes when
You're farming his character.
when I'm on there. I got that vibe like, listen, this is what it is now. We gotta do this so we can prosper in the future. I got those vibes complete. I was like, I ain't mad at it though. I'm not mad at it at all. I ain't mad at it at all.
She was a virus.
That's funny. Oh, fucking hell. But then here we go. GAMERA fucking does what he did the last episode. Slices a kaiju in half.
But this time it was not the UFO form. He just straight up rammed into Virus and fucking split him in two with his own fucking body.
Which is just like Godzilla Final Wars, where you think Gigan is that motherfucker, and he is not. And he's not. And Godzilla
He's just Slipknot and Monster Energy drink.
Exactly. But I love that Virus is falling, and she's like, well, there it is. And boom! Virus doesn't hit the fucking tower, but it lands right next to it, but causes that destructive wake. and then everything goes to... No, I'm lying. Everything goes back to space. Here's the part where I'm like, damn, this show has something, and it's fucking strong, and it's something awesome. Everything relied on getting to the fucking escape pod. We get in there. Everything looks green. And I'm over here saying, though, everything looks green, but that door's still open. I'm saying that. I'm watching the fucking show, and I'm like, the door's still open. The door is still open. Yet everything is green. The door's still open. I did not know that the door had to be fucking manually shut from the outside of the pod. That was dope. That, as much as I could not care for these little kids, that was fucking dope. And I honestly, you kind of had to see it coming because Joe really didn't have that particular arc yet. You know? Mm-hmm. He didn't have that arc yet.
No, he was pretty stuck in his ways.
And then I go and I say, wait a minute. Of course he did. The very first scene of this fucking series is Shogo calling to command to respond. And here we are. And this is it. And it was, to me, I love that sacrifice. I did. I mean, it's very contrived. It's very one of those things that just you see it coming.
Tropey.
Very tropey.
Very true.
But it feels right. It felt right. And I wasn't mad at it. And I loved, here's the thing. When Joe does it and Shogo's looking at Joe through the window and then the pod escapes from the shuttle, Joe still has a smile on his face. And I was like, yo, you know what, man? I can't watch this shit no more. How many more episodes? One, I'm going to take a shit. I'm going to go do this. I was done.
You know what got me, though? Sorry, Dad. Turns out I'm going to see Toru and Mom first.
Oh!
That fucking crushed me.
That hit.
That crushed me.
And that's where I was like, I had a lot of reservations, and that one kind of erased a lot of things. You're absolutely right. That one hit.
It did. And no matter what you say about any kind of media, the fact that a part in a line like that, as tropey as it is, was delivered and hit this hard in an anime series about a giant turtle going Doomslayer and a bunch of other giant monsters, that just makes it better. Because detractors can't say anything. It's like, if you're sucked into that and you're enjoying it and a moment like that fucking hits you, the show just did its job. And it did it well.
It did it really well.
And I dare anybody to fucking tell me I'm wrong. Because I'm not.
Here we go. Episode 6, motherfuckers. I'd be remiss to talk about. We have missed an integral part of this series to date. As of yet, we have not talked about someone who was in the very first episode. And that is the Tank Commander.
Yep.
I'm going to call him Chocolate Caramel. Okay? You want a chocolate caramel? That shit to me, when I seen that in the first episode, I was like, see, this is stupid. This is dumb. But this, I get it. That's like a weird Japanese thing. I get it. But it makes no sense here in the context. And she just keeps coming to update him and saying, the Prime Minister said no. The Prime Minister said no. The Prime Minister said no. This motherfucker's been sitting in this thing for fucking 3 weeks. The Prime Minister said no.
Making origami.
He's eating the fucking caramel chocolates. You want one? No. At first I thought it was breath mints, right? So he was like, because of my dumb ass, I was like, he said her breath stinks. She's all talking down. I'm like, yay, Captain. Hey, yo, you want one? No, I'm good. You should take one. But then you find out in the next episode is, it's chocolate caramel. And that's great. But
No, but hold up.
that, I love those characters. I did. And I thought they were bad. Well, I thought the girl was bad. Because she kind of had the same kind. The eyes were weird. I thought she was a part of the crew on the moon and the whole thing. But apparently she wasn't.
No,
She was
not at
a
all.
girl's butt.
But starting off episode 6, we gotta finish off with episode 5. Gamera catches the escape pod and just passes the fuck out. He's almost dead at this point. Because he's been going through the fucking ringer these past few weeks. I don't even know how long this fucking whole series lasts. Like fucking, I think it's like over the course of like a month or something.
Yeah, that seems right.
We're going to talk about the head burster, right?
The head burster.
Wasn't that at the end of episode 5?
No, that was
No,
the
that was at
beginning of episode 6.
Where we
okay.
see that this series has fucking lied to us. It's not Gamera versus 5 kaiju, it's Gamera versus 6.
No, it's not.
Look at me in the eyes and tell me that that's just not a different species of Gauss entirely to be considered a different kaiju.
Which eye? There's 3 different eyes on that Gauss. Fuck that Gauss. Let me tell you something. You know what? I'm mad. Now I'm mad.
Go ahead.
Wait a minute. I keep hitting the desk and it's shutting the fucking podcast off. I apologize, but here's the deal.
I know this is going.
They went with a mutated Gauss instead of Baragon?
Yeah.
And then they had the fucking balls and audacity to have a long fucking tongue. And that's at the end of the episode. I'm jumping ahead. But the fact of the matter is this. They said 5 kaiju. There was 6. But the 6th one was still a fucking Gauss. Be it all mutated with 3-4 fucking eyes, looking like it came from a Springfield fucking ripoff. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. They claim to Baragon?
Hear me out, though.
No. I'm not hearing nothing. They made Zigro a fucking. I was in the fucking underwater fucking mountain and I bust out. There I am. Granted, Baragon can't be in the water, right? Like he can be. He dies. That is it. He's allergic to water. Even though, and I'm not gonna go into detail, but even though motherfucker came out the water in the beginning of that fucking movie when, the opal broke open because of the fucking UV machine. I'm just saying. But really, seriously, y'all couldn't put the first fucking Gamera foe in this movie. Now, I don't know if it's a Toho thing, the name Baragon. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, that, to me, fuck a Gauss, that was my favorite fucking Gamera villain. It really was.
Nah.
I love Legion, I love Iris, and I do like Gauss. But in the Showa series, that was the first and that was the best.
Okay,
Now,
but
what
actually hear me
interesting-
out here. This mutated Gauss could be the missing link halfway point between Gauss and Iris.
No, fuck out of here. Give me the middle finger. No, I don't want to hear that. Even though earlier in the series, oh my god, Junichi had on the wall a phoenix, which was total reference to Gamera 3 and what Iris was, right? It was there. It's there. I saw it. But no, I don't. I see what you're saying, but I don't like it.
Don't like it. This is. We want more seasons of this, so I like it. I like the implication that we could lead into Gauss mutating into Iris.
But we have a completely
Later on.
unexplored planet up on the moon that could be filled with other things.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Season 2 could very well be cracking open the cork up on the moon, Dead Space style, and that's where the rest of our kaiju come from. Could be. Because like you said earlier, the moon is unresolved. We see a base getting destroyed. Do we see all of it getting destroyed? Do we see Gamera pulling a Sonic Adventure 2 and blowing up half of the moon? No. He shoots a hole through the moon. Who knows what that could possibly wake up?
And one particular
Now, I
point,
don't know
too.
about you, but the visual of a destructive rainbow coming from the moon opening up season 2 would be pretty fucking sick.
Stop with your nonsense, Rob! Don't you get my hopes up too high, Rob! I need to live.
Netflix, Kadokawa, I'll take my check any second now.
I need to live, motherfucker. I got to make it to December 1st and 2nd and
This is
3rd.
true.
You understand? And then I got to make it to, what? This is going to be at least 2 fucking years. If they
At
even
least.
do a sequel. Oh my God, are you kidding me? I mean, I would love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm
You're still upset that he
just...
wasn't in the first season.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. They did every
Yeah.
single fucking Gamera show of villain, and there was 6 episodes. There was 7 movies. 1 doesn't count. Where the fuck was Baragon? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's like Baragon was Rodan's Roar minus. Get the fuck out of here, bro. But all in all, I will say this. in the chats. I was doing and Gam could co-sign. He could co-sign. Gam could definitely co-sign. I was doing the What in the Tarnation, right? Y'all, everybody knows that cartoon. What in Tarnation?
Yeah.
But I
You
was
were doing what in everything.
I was doing
under the
what in
sun.
everything. Right. So
Like what in the Infinite War?
all right, I was at the wait, we ain't there yet. So my first one was what in the King Kong Lives.
Yeah.
They had Gamera in the tent. They had all the things hooked up to him. It really reminded me of King Kong Lives, right? Gamera came out of that virus fight and was like, yo, you
Oh,
good?
No, dude, no, dude.
He was like, yo, Shogo, you good? Y'all good? All right, give me a second. And passed the fuck out. He
That
said,
was-
I'm dead.
That was less King Kong Lives and more Gamera the Brave because of the uses of crystals to revive him.
There was crystals in that movie?
Yeah. Those little ruby-looking things that
Yeah.
they melted down and injected into Gamera, and then the big ruby thing that his egg was on that fucking Toru threw in his mouth.
The Hawaiian Punch ashtray.
I hate
Yeah.
that movie. I've seen that movie twice. I fucking hate that movie. I do. I'm sorry. I just hate it. I hate it. Geras has a cool design. I like that. I like Geras, aka Godzilla Light. But
Oh, Zetas, okay.
Zetas.
Zetas.
Why I say
Zetas.
Geras? Yeah. Fucking Geras. Where
I
the
was
fuck
like,
am I going?
wait,
Zetas.
what?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
But yeah, it gave me vibes of this thing. That thing right there.
See, his camera works. He be fucking around. He be lying. His fucking camera works. He just showed us that. Then he can't show us him. Fucking liar. Yeah, what are you doing? So you just put the fucking camera.
What you doing?
Turn
I
it
don't
around.
have any figures of Gamera Rebirth yet. I'm going to get them.
You tell him Ahsoka
Oh.
deflections. This motherfucker is a lightsaber deflection. I will say again. All right, the King Kong Lives thing. Then I put what in the Adam West Batman, because they were like, hey, this jewel, this crystal will revive Gamera. And the guy's like, well, how? And then the fucking scientist was like, I can't even remember what the fuck he said. It was like something like resonance and acoustics and power gems and
Amplification, power coils.
and all it reminded me of was when Batman in the fucking Batman movie was like, somebody's gonna slip on a ballpoint banana, and he was like, somebody Russian is gonna break their neck. I lost my mind. I was like, what the fuck is this Batman shit? That's what I got out of it. Because he was just running off a bunch of random shit. I was like, sure, why not? Still worked, right? Then I wrote, what in the GAMERA for when I saw this new Gauss, mutated Gauss. Mutated Gauss. I had to retract my statement, though. I had to retract my statement on that, okay? Because I seen that mutated Gauss, and then I realized later on, I'm like, wait a minute, that's not like mutated Gauss. That is Shin Gauss. Am I lying? Am I
Gauss.
fucking
What in the
lying?
Shin Godzilla is this?
Right. Am I lying?
No.
That's a Shin Gauss. That is a totally radically different take on Gauss. 3 eyes, giant, the fucking... Look at the back. The spines on the back are showing. It's not even fully formed. It's showing. Looks like a Godzilla back spine. I'm just
Apparently,
saying.
he was going to reach his final form if he ate Shogo.
Shogo Shinji. Jesus Christ. I'm just saying. It was a fucking... The way I'm taking it, and I don't give a fuck if y'all do. I don't care. I love... Not that I don't care. Let me rephrase that. That's a terrible way of thinking. I do not mind if you do not agree with my thoughts and process. This was a Shin Gauss. This was a definite knock on Godzilla. This was a knock to Godzilla. It was gigantic. It had a super fucking weapon.
It didn't move much.
It didn't move much. It was awesome though. I can't lie.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, shout out to this new Gauss for actually eating that Emiko bitch.
Yeah.
When he was a
how he
baby.
started his life.
Right, and again, another reason why it was a Shin. It went through a couple of forms. It evolved. It evolved.
Yeah.
It ate and
After
evolved.
eating a bitch and some galamad, a
Yeah.
little bit of galamad on the side of bitch, coughed up her ring.
I was just sitting there like, wow, really? Really? Wow. Really? Really, wow. But I digress. It was still entertainment. It was still entertainment.
And we all knew just as that thing was about to fucking munch on Shogo, here comes Gamera fucking, even though I'm not fully healed, I'm still gonna beat your fucking ass.
And I'm gonna do it so hard they're going to repeat the shot 3 fucking times, and you're not going to mind because it's gonna look and sound awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they did. Michael Bay was riveted. He was there with me.
Fucking cinema.
Absolutely. But
no,
you know,
before that, this fucking motherfucker with his long ass tongue just Frenches Gamera and just fucking shoves its fucking goo down Gamera's throat for a few minutes.
it's virus, something like that.
I hated
Yeah.
that. I
Plant.
fucking hated that. It got all... Yo, you're lucky I didn't write, what in the hentai? Because I was ready. That's what that was. It's total fucking hentai. All of a sudden, this shit... And this is where I'm like, I like this show, but this show is wacky, bro. This shit goes everywhere. And sometimes that's not good. This was not good.
That's Gamera for you, dude.
Yeah, but
comparing him to the more grounded Godzilla, Gamera is fucking wacky.
I get that, but what I'm saying is like, do I really need to see some hentai shit in this fucking show? Like literally, Gauss is jizzing in Gamera's mouth. Tell me if I'm lying.
Well, Jiger did fuck Gamera with its tail and impregnate him in the Showa era.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, but
We're
they
not
didn't.
entirely lost on it.
But they didn't do that here. And now all of a sudden, here comes Gauss straight up necking Gamera. and then
One of the
literally
players some tonsil hockey.
spitting in his mouth like, take that, take that, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, yo, Gamera,
I mean, it
grab
wasn't
its
effective
fucking
way.
mouth, grab the tongue. Gamera's just standing there like, okay, I'll take it. It was like a
Yeah.
face hugger on Gamera, and Gamera could do
It
nothing.
kind of was. I mean, I was sitting here thinking, Gamera, you have teeth. Very sharp, jagged teeth. Bite that shit.
Something. It was very uncomfortable. I'll be honest. I
But
watched it and I was like, meh.
It gave the tank guy enough room to fucking go. Speaking of Shin Godzilla, the fucking tank battalion working in tandem and actually like tactfully shooting at specific vital parts. That reminded me a lot of Shin Godzilla.
And they were pretty on point with it too.
They really
Like,
were.
That was cool. That was cool. Like, these motherfuckers was going backward. They were going forward. They were dodging the beams like fucking G's and everything. It was cool. It was like tank ballet.
Yeah, it was.
With guns and giant monsters.
And I did love that the general was still like, because I got to be honest, at first I thought it was a girl, right? But it
Yeah,
was the
me too.
general. And I was like, oh shit, and he's all bleeding and shit. He's like, give me my goddamn chocolate caramel. I'm going to kill this beast. I'm like, yeah, get him!
You shoot that bitch in the fucking mouth.
Just like he's doing a Gamera right now. Oh my god. I got to be honest, there comes a point in time where, all right, I'll put it like this. It seems like they threw everything at this, okay? Everything at this. And at the end, they saved the hentai for last. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, what the fuck? Stop. Gamera was straight up deep throating. And I'm like, what'd I say? I said TV-14. What the fuck are we doing? I punched the fucking thing in it. All right, I gotta remember that this computer's very sensitive. I gotta watch out for that. I gotta stop banging on the desk. I'm sorry. Very sensitive computer.
You gonna be spending some time editing this.
Oh yeah, you have no doubt. There's about 4 or 5 seconds in each fucking thing. Every time I bang on the computer, I gotta bang on my chair. I'm just like, yo, come on. It's insane. It's enough. Like, we don't have to do all that. And I don't understand why the creators are like, yo, we should do all that. It didn't make sense to me. I was disgusted. I'll be honest, that's just me. I was disgusted. And I could care less, but it's Gamera. Something that I do enjoy and I do love. If it was something completely different, fuck it. Do it. But when I see something that, has been around for longer than I've been around, why are we doing this? This don't make sense to me. Get out of here with your TikTok trends.
Also, apparently, Gamera used to be evil?
Yeah. They pulled a Ultraman Tiga Giants of Darkness.
Where he went back to his original programming, quote unquote, for a little bit there, but then through the power of anime friendship, he went back to normal.
Yeah, and I believe that was the whole reasoning behind Shin Gyaos, as we will call it until it gets a movie monster series figure or a specific name. I believe that was the whole reason why he was getting tongued, because it was implanting a virus inside of Gamera, which then allowed the old farts on the moon to kind of reshift his programming, make him a little bit darker, and give him red eyes. Missed opportunity for Advent Gamera design to kind of start poking through, but
Right, like the Nightmare Gamera design, that would have been nice a nice callback.
Bigger teeth, white eyes, little pointier and everything. Yeah, that would have been very on the nose, would have justified yet another Gamera figure. If we don't get a flying slash swimming Gamera figure from the movie monster series, I'm going to punt them in the cunt. But that was mean. It was strange, and Gamera is no stranger to strange, sure, but at least it wasn't for nothing. At least it wasn't for the sake of being ridiculous or gross,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was for a plot purpose, and I like that.
Yeah.
I also just like how they just pulled a new power out of Gamera's ass, because fucking he now has a giant fuck you laser that kills him.
Yeah. Turns him into soot. Turns him into a little soot sprite from Spirited Away.
Let's not forget the pulse too. That was random.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
pulse.
Yeah, that was a new power for him.
The triple cutback pulse. The Michael Bay pulse.
That was something. That was something.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I don't know where else to go with this except to the very, very end.
Yes, where now that everything is said and done, Gamera's dead, all the other kaiju are dead, and Tokyo and all that, Japan's going back to somewhat normalcy.
Hold up,
No,
wait.
no.
Rob is yeah. What? Yes.
You need to press play on Netflix right now.
Wait. No. We don't do that yet. Don't do that yet.
Not yet?
No, I got some final words.
All right.
Final words.
All right.
You know, like Oh shit! What was my final words? Ha! Fuck me up. I was ready to go, and I was going. Yeah. I would talk about the end of the. Oh yes, right. Yes, Gamera sacrificing himself after he turned evil because he got fucking vomited in his mouth. He got fucking jizzed. He swallowed. It was terrible. You see the hentai shit that really, honestly, this is why people on the right go crazy. They see this shit, they see this, and forget it. We can't have good things like Godzilla no more. We can't have it. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Because they're like, oh, well, this monster's, he's totally getting it down his throat. And it's fucking terrible. It's true. Yeah. If you laughing, you know that sound. She's done it a couple times.
Yeah, they're too focused on Starfield and the pronouns.
Okay, that's a reference I ain't got because I have not played Starfield, but I get it somewhat.
Fun times.
But so like you see all that, and then all of a sudden, like Gamera turns bad, and he's all evil, and I know y'all just discussed this, and
yeah.
But then it's like Thanos snaps his fingers, and everybody turns to dust. Well, at least Gamera does. After he blows up the moon.
The old farts on the moon get vaped.
I loved it. And I loved that it was pinpoint accuracy.
Oh, yeah.
I really did.
Yeah, pinpoint accuracy. Fucking did the thing from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate with those giant beams of light that fucking killed everybody.
Yeah. You can almost say he did a Shin Godzilla.
He definitely did a Shin Godzilla. That was a total Shin Godzilla. The fucking
pinpoint beam.
Yeah, right there.
It was beautiful. It's fantastic.
I love that, and it reminded me. And I was like, "Cowboy Bebop, the moon gets destroyed," but that wasn't the case. And then he turns to dust.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yo, what the fuck? I loved it. I can't lie. I did. But at the same time, the whole time I'm thinking about, why is this called Gamera Rebirth? I'm confused.
Because at the very end.
That's whack.
Right before the credits.
That's whack. That's what you call the second season. This one you call Gamera versus 5 Showa creatures. Or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Well, it during the marketing, it does say that the alternative title is Gamera versus 5 Kaiju.
That's true. Well, being that we got there, and this is all right, I want to say real quick, before I let you, Gam, get to where we, Rob and myself, have been.
Yeah.
The top of this episode with Shogo talking. We've all watched the dub versions. Am I correct in that assumption?
I watched the dub. It insta played the dub, so I went
with
the dub.
It insta played the dub, so same. I was just like, all right, fuck it, let it go.
Oh, definitely my second watch through is going to be sub, though.
Oh, absolutely. Have to. Because I need the difference. Because here's my take. Especially in the beginning of this last episode, I fucking hated the dub. And it's not that the voice actors did anything bad, it's the fucking editing of it. Everything is too close together. Certain sentences needs to be spaced apart so you can feel the fucking impact of the fucking message. They're just on top of each other. It's jumbled together. It sucks. I hate it.
Part of it has to do with the fact that it's a 3D animated thing, and they animated it to be lip synced to Japanese rather than just simple up and down mouth flaps that most 2D anime have. Where you could put basically anything in it.
That's true, but at the same time, I'm gonna push back on this particular point. If you go back and watch Douglas's father with Shogo's mother, when they're talking, the general, his mouth is moving to the English words. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the same.
Because he's American and speaks English.
Granted, but if you look at her mouth movements, they move to the English words too. And that's where I was like, what the fuck? Now, it wasn't a big deal. Again, it wasn't a big deal. My beef is more of when you're trying to convey a message and you just do it too fast, it diminishes the message. That is what bothered me at the beginning of this fucking episode. Shogo was just like, blah, 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 Joe. What? Like, slow down, my dude. Slow the fuck down. And that is, to me, an error on the editing. That's an error. And that bothered me a bit. I can't lie. Can't lie. But outside of that's like my only beef, pretty much, because the rest of the episode was fantastic. But you know what was
indeed.
You know what really was more fantastic, Gams? Because
Baby GAMERA?
No, fuck that. No. The end credits, which I hope you press play on right now.
No, I'm about to. Okay, you're giving me permission. I'm pressing play. I see Baby GAMERA squeaking. I love Baby GAMERA squeaking.
No, that's not the end credits, for crying out loud. What the fuck?
Yeah, the end credits are about to start right now. Now they're going.
I don't know, Rob. What do you think? I don't think he's talking about Baby GAMERA. That's the very, very end.
Nah,
yeah, that's the last shot before the credits. I'm listening to the credits now.
No, he's wrong.
What is it? No, wrong.
No. Go
you have to go to the first set of credits.
The first set of credits. Come on. Gam.
Yeah, Baby GAMERA is before these credits. I'm hearing the GAMERA theme song in acoustics right now. I'm fucking crying. Shut up.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Shut up.
That's not what I saw.
Suyo icho GAMERA. Oh.
Look at JR. Look at JR. He's just biting. He's chomping at the bit. I can't believe the dead space is great. It's like a video game all of a sudden. My God. Rob, while he indulges himself in this, that's not where I saw the end.
I'm pretty sure I saw it before Baby GAMERA.
I need this soundtrack on fucking vinyl.
Yeah?
I'm feeling things.
I'm confused. The end to me, before the fucking the credits started to roll, before Baby GAMERA, was
No, it was after Baby GAMERA.
Wait, Rob, he's right. He's 100% right. You know why?
I'm right. Shut
up. He is right. I got it confused. That's my bad. He's right. Baby GAMERA, and then GAMERA! GAMERA! Sing it with us, people! We believe in GAMERA! You believe in GAMERA! Yeah, GAMERA! And then it's Steve Jobs, and then it's Joe calling him.
Joe is alive. We
Joe's
got
alive.
baited.
We got baited. Joe's on the moon. Joe made it
I
to the
think so.
fucking moon. Yeah. The
so.
the trajectory, it was going, and then I guess when GAMERA blew up virus, it might have been a shockwave. Boom, sent them to the
Pushed him
moon.
to the moon. Yeah. Season 2.
Season 2, if it's even gonna happen in 2 years, 3 years, Jesus, who knows? But yeah, so yeah, there it was, Gams. The fucking GAMERA song is in the fucking season.
Yes,
Beautifully
and that is
arranged.
that was the perfect send-off right there. That I wish I would.
JR, I don't hear a thing you're saying. Uh-oh, is it again? It can't. Why?
That's a reference to the death battle between GAMERA and Godzilla.
Let's see, JR?
Hello?
Oh, so anybody hears JR? I don't hear him.
I hear JR.
I
God.
hear JR.
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna back out real quick.
More editing.
Yeah, for real. I'll be right back.
Can you hear
JR.
me now?
Yes.
Okay.
No, seeing as this series has been up to this point just a fucking love letter to Showa era GAMERA, but in a Heisei kind of way, that was fucking perfect.
Rob,
Hmm?
you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. That arrangement of that theme.
Yeah, that acoustic.
Oh, we're talking about the music. Okay, the theme. Yes, absolutely, hands down.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Fucking fantastic.
Not gonna knock that. I loved it. I did shit a tear there. I literally, when I heard it, that's why I typed in all caps, the final credits, or wait till the final credits, or whatever the fuck I typed, because there was tears in my eyes. I loved
yeah.
it. Loved it.
The best callback in the entire show.
I am now kicking myself for fast forwarding through the credits the first time,
Oh, yeah.
just to get to the after credit scene.
Yeah, well, you know, I
Where
will.
apparently the fucking seaweed hair guy took the crystal and in the 80s invented smartphones like fucking 30 years before they were supposed to be.
It's a great concept. It's a great concept. And it's fitting. I got to be honest, and I'm going to say my final thoughts, and I'm going first.
Okay.
It was good. It wasn't great, in my opinion. I had a lot
After
of...
all this gushing that we've been doing,
Yeah.
now you're just going to say overall it's not great?
Yeah, because, you know, I wanted to wait until we got to the very end. I mean, that's what we do, right? Like, that's how it should be, right? I agree. Like,
Yeah.
I pretty much liked every single episode. But at the end of the day, I just was not... I wasn't overwhelmed by it. I was just like, yeah, all right. It's cool.
You weren't in love with it.
Yeah, I did. I really didn't love it. I didn't hate it. Did not hate it. And I'm not going to knock anybody. But it just... At the end of the day, the kaiju fights were great. GAMERA was great. The kids annoyed me a lot. What are we doing here? The cursing and shit, which is crazy coming from me, right? But I'm just confused, right? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Because here's the deal. If you don't know anything about anything, even if... No, let me rephrase that. If you like GAMERA, if you like giant monsters, and you know GAMERA is pretty much harmless, and you've got children, oh, we're going to sit down and watch this. And then all of a sudden, if you're not like me, right, and you're a goody two-shoes, and you sit down with your kids to watch this, and all of a sudden they're like, what the fuck are you doing, you fucking piece of shit, bitch? You stop watching it. You stop watching it. And I'm just saying it as like an old fucking guy with a perception. I mean, personally, I don't give a fuck. Watch it. This is funny. You see that shit? This is like John McClane and the 12-year-old. That's great. But your average viewer who just casually likes kaiju, that shit pops up. That's not a singular point. That's not in the Polygon trilogy. That's not in Pacific Rim. No, maybe it's in Pacific Rim a little bit, but not as much as this. That's definitely not in Skull Island. I kind of like Skull Island a little bit better than this. I put Skull Island just a tad bit over this. I do. Just a tad bit. Just a tad bit. I like the kids more. I like the idea that they were on Skull Island, trapped, instead of being woven into this weird conspiracy thing where we gotta eat the children so virus could come back to life to decimate the planet. For what? They never fucking explained it. Are we waiting for a second season? I don't know. But Singular Point ended with motherfucking Mecha Godzilla being built over the bones of the fucking song, quote unquote. And I was like, I'm all in. Where's that second season at? Where's that second season at? That's my take. Rob.
I pretty much fucking loved it. From episode 1 moving forward, I liked what they were doing with the kids. I liked that the humans were actually integral to the story. I liked that the kaiju stuff never took a break, which is something that I'm learning that I don't like too much about Singular Point now. It's just that it does a lot of 2014-isms where it builds up to something and then it just doesn't do something and it continues not to do something until it finally does something. I like that with this. It really does feel like 6 short animated Gamera specials all jumbled into one series with the same continuity.
Yeah.
I think Gamera Rebirth did everything a modern day Gamera series should have done. It stayed true to itself, it stayed true to its roots, and it did things that animated Godzilla Ventures, the community very much wants Godzilla to do, but didn't.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate what Godzilla did, of course. But when it comes to Gamera, I mean, we talked about Skull Island before. I would put this above Skull Island for me personally. And I liked Skull Island. I liked it quite a bit. And, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you Skull Island was bad in any way, shape, or form. Episode 7 fucking murdered me.
Episode 7 is like episode 10 of Singular Point. It's the one. That's my point. There was no one particular episode. While I did love episode 4 of Gamera Rebirth, there was no one particular episode where I was like, that's Gamera. None. And that's just my point. Skull Island and Singular Point, they had those one particular episodes like, that's it. That's it. That's why it works. And this show did work, and I agree with everything you said. And I'm going to go back into my hidey hole. Sorry.
It's all good. But at the end of the day, yeah, I would put this above Skull Island. I would probably, for now, put it above the anime trilogy. I don't know if it's going to get there with Singular Point because I really fucking enjoy Singular Point. I really fucking enjoyed this. I think it's a great way for Gamera to come back. And I hope it's not just a one-off. I hope there's a continuation and end to this. And the creator stated that if it does well, there will be a second season and even a live-action project of some sorts. I think they said series. I don't know if that meant live-action series on Netflix or a live-action series of movies or a live-action Netflix TV show, whatever the fuck. I'm happy with it. I enjoyed it. I had my one low point. I had my many high points. It delivered. It gave me what I wanted. And I'm very happy. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd.
Nice. Gams, you are the Gamera. Go.
Yeah. And I'm going to be the one to push back on you with this one, RJ.
Please
I
do.
mostly agree with Rob, but I'm going to push back, okay? For me, as a Gamera fan, as a Gamera stan, that first episode, that first fight with Gauss, that was it for me. I was like, holy fuck. Gamera just fucking crushing him and fucking doing what Kong did to fucking those assholes in the Hollow Earth with their fucking their Hollow Earth aerial vehicles fucking just crushing them in his hands, and the actual fight with the big Gauss, it was so fucking good. This series, episode 3 Withstanding, or what is it? Yeah, episode 3 Withstanding, exceeded my expectations for an animated Gamera thing, for an animated kaiju thing, okay? It had the perfect pacing for something like this, with the 40-minute long episodes. It had all the fucking kaiju action that you did not get in any of the animated Godzilla things, except for the shit like the 90s animated Godzilla thing, the 1998 one, or the Hanna-Barbera one. It had all of that. The choreography was fucking perfect. The updates to the classic Showa monsters is perfect, in my opinion. Every last one of them. I am just enamored, and it could be recency bias, it could be Gamera bias, but I don't care. I love this. This is so much better than fucking the Polygon trilogy. I'd even say this is probably on par with Singular Point, because if y'all have talked to me before, you know Singular Point is like my favorite Godzilla thing ever, because it's such masterful fucking storytelling. This doesn't have as masterful storytelling, but it more than makes up for it for the shit that, let's be honest, we're all fucking here for.
Yeah, every episode had a monster fight. Every episode.
Every episode had a monster fight, and they were all fucking dope.
Yeah, that's facts. That's a fact. I can't deny that.
Absolutely.
And fucking this just, to me, is probably my new favorite Gamera thing besides Gamera 3. Like if you want me to put all my Gamera shit into a ranking from not counting Showa, just like from Heisei onwards, it'd be Gamera the Brave at the bottom, Gamera 1, then Gamera 2, then Gamera Rebirth, then Gamera 3.
That's not that bad. That's not that bad.
This is that good shit, and I hope to God that every single one of you out there listening, every single person who I'm going to talk to outside of this podcast watches this fucking show, hits that double like button, because that's a thing on Netflix, and convinces Katakawa that this is worth continuing.
Kill the children, kill the children, kill the children, Gamera.
Better yet, let's grow up with these kids so that they're not kids anymore, and we watch them as adults being characters and whatnot.
Nah, you know what, man? Give me Asagi every day, all day, every day. Where's my Asagi at? Give me Asagi. Give me that, because that was another thing.
They could bring in Asagi and them. I don't know.
They really did go into Shogo all of a sudden having fucking spasms and aneurysms when Gamera got hurt. Never went into that. You just
never explained why that happened.
And yet,
and I hope that they explain why that happens, and if there's any actual connection to the established lore in the Heisei era.
Okay, so
and speaking of that, we have not gotten any anime renditions of Legion. We haven't gotten an anime rendition of fucking Iris or Barugon, or even they can even cut super deep into the not released stuff and get Gara Sharp.
That would have been fucking dope. That was an opportunity they had here for episode 6, except they went with a fucking mutated Gauss. Come on, man.
Shin Gauss.
Shin Gauss. Unforgivable. I will say this.
To you, not to me. I fucking loved that Gauss design. I want a figure of that Gauss.
No, I ain't mad. Actually, I loved all the designs. I did. And look, I did enjoy the show. It just wasn't, like, at the end of the day, it wasn't it didn't break any barriers for me. Here's where I'm worried. Okay? You look at the Polygon trilogy, I'm pretty sure that was already set in stone. So they had to do that, right? But I look at Singular Point and I'm like, we haven't heard nothing from that yet. And that's what now? Over a year old? Almost 2 years old? Right?
We have a little something, but
There's rumors.
yeah.
There's rumors. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So hopefully we hear something this November at Godzilla Day. When Shin Godzilla. Oh, the third greatest reboot of Godzilla, right? Geno version 2. When Godzilla -1 comes out, I'm pretty sure Toho's gonna do a Godzilla Day thing. And hopefully news comes out there. But would you do that to throw off Godzilla Day? -1. I mean, it's different here in the States than it is in Japan. I get it. But would you do that? We haven't heard Singular Point 2 yet. Pacific Rim the Black has, 2 seasons?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Where's the 3rd season? I mean, today, fucking Castlevania just dropped their 4th season trailer. Today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't know if GAMERA is enough of a name brand to garner a season 2. And if people who don't know it like we know it watch this, they're going to say, yeah, you know what? Let's put the double thumbs up on it. Or even finish the shit. I don't know how Netflix or any streaming services work. I don't know, how they deduce the amount of fucking streams they get, the money they get off of that, the way like movie theaters on a box office weekend would. Oh, well, this is the #1 movie because it made this much money. I don't know how streaming works that way, right? GAMERA could be trending at #1. It probably is going to be trending at number 3 or 4. And come Wednesday of this week, it's probably out of sight, out of mind, just like Singular Point was. And that's an unfortunate truth. I would love this to get a 2nd season. I just don't think it's happening.
Unfortunately, just checked it. It's not even in the top 10.
And it came out today.
Wow. Really?
And it came out
Yeah,
today.
it's not even. It came out today.
Because everybody's watching a -1 trailer.
Yeah.
The number 1 is this a stand-up comedy special, and number 2 is One Piece. Still.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, and that's the harsh reality, and it kills me because again, I want a season 2, I want a season 3, I want to see Baragon. I want to see Baragon. I want to see Iris. I want to see Legion for those English speaking people. But I want to see all those monsters. I want to see fucking
Zetas.
Thank you, Zedus. I want to see him. I want to see fucking Garashop. I want to see a new kaiju. I want to see something brand new created. Not Shin Gauss. I want to see something brand new created. I would love it. I would. But GAMERA is just not that name brand, man. It's just not. That's what kills me.
Well, from what I see when it comes to highly awaited like Netflix shows pop up on all the movie and like media pages on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck it's called. Apparently, and according to some teams that have worked under Netflix really pay attention to the first couple of weeks, how many watch hours a series gets. That really like helps push along, okay, we can continue this project. I'm pretty sure that first popped up with Sonic Prime, where the team was like, you gotta watch this like release, within the first week of it being released to like really get, a big like pull from it. And I don't remember if Sonic Prime was actually trending at one point, and if it was, it wasn't for long. But I see where you're coming from entirely, and yeah, it scares me too.
Yeah.
But I think, and I'm trying not to make it sound like it's my extremely hopeful side here, the Japanese side of the fandom, very fucking excited. The pull and the push from the Japanese side of things was massive. I woke up today to every figure customizer that I follow, some of the Japanese side of the fandom figure reviewers that I follow, just like completely gushing about all of this. And if it doesn't trend over here in the States, I'm hoping that it's at least trending over in, like, you know, on the other side of the pond and stuff. And I feel like it might not be Stranger Things. It might not be One Piece. It might not crack the top 10. It might not even crack the top 5. But I'm hoping that it'll do well enough that it'll garner enough for Netflix to see. They likely already have a decent portion of season 2 already written, maybe even worked on at this point, to at least release that. You know, from the get-go, I really wasn't expecting this show to be, you know, Stranger Things or One Piece or anything like that. I wasn't expecting it to be that. I was more so just worried about its quality. But I guess what I'm really trying to just, like, strike home is I'm pretty hopeful that Rebirth can make it to season 2, that we can cap this off, and we can have a complete body to work with here. I know it's just me going off of hope and what I've read and everything, but I don't know. I'm hopeful. And I don't know. I mean, I don't want to knock on the show, but clearly the budget wasn't huge.
Right.
When there was obviously some cutbacks when it came to human animation versus kaiju animation. We discussed that. We're fine with it. It is what it is. So maybe it's to a point where the budget wasn't fucking massive and it does well enough to recoup that. It gets its, you know, watch time hours and such. And maybe we can pull a miracle out of our asses with this one.
I got a question.
What's up?
Is the animation, this type of animation, more costly than, let's say, Singular Point's animation? I don't know, and that's a good, legit question I'm asking.
I think CG rendered animation is cheaper.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think that's why, because, you know, everybody was hoping that would have been a traditionally animated type thing because, you know, stylistically and everything. But I am pretty sure 3D animated is a lot cheaper.
It's not only cheaper, it requires less manpower. You can get probably like 5 to 10 guys dealing with it, where if you have a traditionally animated series, it takes a lot more. From what I understand, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the know-all be-all of the animation world.
Wait, who the fuck is that? Who's talking? Who the hell?
Oh, it's...
What the fuck?
Oh, did I come out of the blue? Sorry.
Who the fuck is you? Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is you, motherfucker? That's my impersonation of episode 1 of GAMERA Rebirth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty much.
So just overall, just getting my final thoughts out of the way, I fucking love this show, and I want it to continue. I hope it does. If it doesn't, I'm fucking satisfied with what we got. This was fucking awesome. This GAMERA fan is satisfied and happy. And yeah.
I can't argue with that. Like I said, it wasn't my cup of tea, but again, I don't hate it. It definitely filled a void for me. I want more. I just don't know if we're gonna get it. The same way I want more of Singular Point. I just don't know if we're gonna get it. The same way I want more of Skull Island. I just don't know if we're gonna get it. And all 3 of these shows ended on these cliffhangers. We got a 2nd season of Pacific Rim: The Black. We're getting a 4th season of Castlevania. There's probably 7,000 other anime shows on Netflix that are going through. Is it the kaiju? That's what bothers me. I
mean, a lot of the normies that just like people who just review Netflix shows that I've seen on YouTube and stuff, they always say that Netflix and kaiju just don't mix. That nothing has ever really worked for Netflix when it comes to kaiju. None of them like the Polygon trilogy. None of them like Singular Point. None of them like Pacific Rim the Black.
But that's crazy because Pacific Rim the Black, in all honesty, that's a great fucking show. That's great. They took the concept of Pacific Rim and they ran with whatever Uprising was starting. They just went a different direction, but they ran with that idea. And it works, and I'm really like, where's the next season? Damn it, you know.
Yeah.
Apparently, season 2 didn't do much, and again, I honestly hope that this Gamera Rebirth gets a second season. It deserves it. I would love to see another season. I really would.
So I just feel like this is going to actually make the normies happy because it has what the normies want. A lot of kaiju beating the shit out of each other in every episode.
I get, yeah.
Well, and I've got like a quick take on that. In regards to it being on Netflix, I personally don't think that's the platform it should be on. It should be on Crunchyroll or High Dive or one of those anime streaming services. That's just for me personally, because the average consumer of Netflix isn't going in for Gamera. They're going in for farts and stupid shit that Netflix puts on, like Stranger Things. I don't like Stranger Things personally, but you know what I mean. I think it probably should have been on a different streaming service. That being said, I want a quick take because I've been listening to all of you gush about this anime, and coming from a non-Gamera fan, even though I own all the movies.
And that'll do it for this episode of the Godzilla Block Party, ladies and gentlemen. No, stop. Go ahead. No.
For real though, you guys have really piqued my interest. Like I kind of want to watch it in November. Like I said earlier today, because it's spooky season and Gamera's not scary, but it does sound like an interesting take on Gamera, and it's got me curious because if they did do a season 2, and you guys were talking about that trailer that came out 2015, 2016, that's an enemy I would really love to see. Come on, that enemy is dope.
Oh yeah, that at the very end, the one that did the thing where it just made a black hole in the corner of a building and just made it fucking snap and disappear.
God, the sound design for that is fucking crunchy as shit. I love it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Listen, I'm ready for the Gamera versus John Gary. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Let's make it. No? Nobody? No? Seriously?
I mean, I'd be up for it. Gamera just versus all the obscure kaiju that's just ripoffs of Godzilla. Gamera versus Yongary. Gamera versus Gorgo.
Let's go.
Gamera versus the super monsters.
Oh no! Please no! We already had Super Monster Gamera. No more Super Monsters and Gamera incorporations. No. But listen. That'll do it for this episode of the Godzilla Block Party. I do want to thank all of y'all for joining us. I want to thank my cohorts for joining us. Starting with you, Shin Rob. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. As soon as Drew asked me, you want to talk about Gamera today? I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Not a different gaggle of people I'd rather be talking about Gamera with. I'll say that much for sure.
Totally appreciate that, brother. I do. I want to thank JR for being quiet for the majority of this podcast. Thank you, sir.
Hey, it was fun listening to you guys. Quick plug. While they were talking, I've been editing the upcoming podcast between G1 and me on my channel, JR's GAM. We're going to talk about our top 10 favorite alien horror films. Dude, I've already started editing. I've got 3 hours of just preconceived footage going. I just need the clips and our audio tracks. We are good. I've been doing like 3 days worth of work right now.
I regret sending that to him because I didn't know that was going to be a shameless plug. I love that.
Hey, share the views, man.
Share the views. And I'm going to say my peace outs before I give it to Games. I want to say thank y'all all for joining us. Seriously, I appreciate that. And honestly, this one has to be sent off with the man himself, Gam Z1. Take it away.
This This has been a hell of a trip. I fucking love Gamera, and I hope anybody else listening loves Gamera too. We are out. Peace.